Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Depends on your time and your location. I salute every Biafran under USB declared. I greet you. I welcome this wonderful afternoon. Please, as I welcome you, please endeavor to welcome one another through like and share. And also comment. Put your comments. These are the things that will make this program to go viral. When you are commenting, when you are liking, and when you are sharing. I want to greet my president, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, greet my Prime Minister Simon Ebanjoko, and greet the acting Prime Minister, Deputy, Dr. Ngozi Orabeze. I greet you, ma, for all you do for Biafrans, and also ask you to continue to do more so that the world will know that the only thing we want this time around is to solve the solution of the ongoing genocide that is happening in Nigeria. That is only through USB redeclared is only the option we have. How we can end this impunity that is happening in Nigeria this time around. Without USB redeclared, there is no way to end Nigeria. And the only way we, as people of Biafra, can end Nigeria is by standing on a peaceful declaration of our nation as the only way to solve this solution out and end the genocide. Because if we remain the way we are before the amalgamation, by now, nobody could have becleaned each other, and Biafra could have been a country on their own. That is the same thing that we are here to let the world know, that the only way and what we are doing is that we believe that the solution is what we are giving to the world. We are here to give the world solution, and the solution is only Biafra as a country is the pure solution to end what is happening in Nigeria. Also to end this present impunity that is going on in Nigeria today. Without Biafra as a nation, the killing will never stop. Without Biafra as a nation, the genocide will continue. Without Biafra as a nation, life will be under torture, under intimidation, under abuse of rights, is how life will be. So please, let the world hear us. Let the world join us. Believe that the only way to solve this problem for people to have their life is through what USB declared has given as a solution into the world table this time around. And without this, coming out of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is no-go area. Without standing on this mandate, and without acting like what every other countries has acted in the past by those that on the new side, declaration, those on the old side, declaration. Without this declaration of Biafra as a country, we are going nowhere. I have proved to you that I challenge anybody that claims he's fighting for Biafra to give us an example of what you are doing. Where are you getting it from? You are protests, you are BGC, you are CRC, you are fallback. Give us one example. Give us one history of a country that through this thing I am doing, that we IPOB who believe in protest, in agitation, that through this, that is only way the Biafra will be achieved. And give us an example of countries that are fighting for their country, not self-determination, that the only way they achieve their country is by protesting and sending documents to the world. I always bet, I said, present one country in this world, from Africa to the entire world. Present one country that their leader, like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, like Simon Ekpa Njoku, that there was arrested, that the court of the oppressor asked them one day to go and continue your freedom fighting. Give us one country where the court discharged the leader and acquit him and ask him go. Just only one. If you present one with a date, month, year. I said, I will close YouTube, I will render apology, and I will never talk again. Chiamaka Jere, tell us a country that this way you are talking about Biafra is how they become a country. Even give us the history of Italy where you are. How did Italy become a country? Give us that one country in this world. Give us that organization that their leader was arrested and his people fall back. His people went underground. His people failed to move on and they are waiting for him to come out. Give us one. That is when you look at our headline today. You will see my headline. IPOB, BGC, CRC. Names of leader like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Simon, that is ESN, that was arrested. How they come out? How they come out became president of their country. They was arrested in the name of organization. They come out, become a president. How? There is two different categories of law. There is a law that's on the side of an indigenous people that won't exist from a country that has already under them, that are controlling them. And there is difference between judgment of a Boko Haram, ICC, ISWAP, that maintain the name One Nigeria. These two people, the law frees Boko Haram, ISWAP, ISIS, the Nigeria law freed them to reintegrate them back into society and they maintain them One Nigeria. The law for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu or for anybody who wants another country out of Nigeria, there is a different law. And the law that guides any leader from organization and from organization and to where he was arrested, the law is never to release him. Anything that we are passing through today, people has passed through that in the past. There is nothing new that we are doing that people has never done in the past. Or people I keep on repeating this, our Ilulu Igbo or illustration. Obu ni mara ebe si ekute mmiri gị soro mpekele ji ka iruo na mmiri. Obu na okpit obu ụzọ amara akpụ ogene ya leke na egbe anya n'ọdụ mgbe egbe na n'elu ka ọ ka esi akpụ ya. Kedu ihe ọzọ a ga-emere ụnụ? Isi na aza IPOB. Izikwa na aza IPOB. Izikwa na aza Dudu Mandu. Ozikwa obu n'otu ka esi nwete country. Give us where it has happened. Because I am here today to give you about 3 countries when the agitating under organization before the transition government in exile and the issue declaration or re-declaration of their country, what happened to them? That the leader was arrested, put in incarceration, like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, like Simon Ekpa. What people outside did that triggers their release, and why they come out, become the first president of those nations they are fighting for. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not fighting for IPOB organization. No, he is fighting for Biafra to be restored as what? As a country. And he never said that his undermost, that his IPOB must restore Biafra. He never said so. He told us, if you know what you can do to bring Biafra as a country, go on and do it. And the ESN, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku, the prime minister, know what it takes to get Biafra as a nation, and he start doing it. He start doing it. You call him all kind of names. You will be witness against him. But the truth is what he's doing. The world will believe in documents. The world believe in evidence. That is what the world believe on. And the history has already been there. The law has already been there. How we can achieve this Biafra as a country. We won't achieve it by crook. We will not achieve it by protest. And no country in this world has used protest and achieved recognition of their country. No country in this world have used protest and the name of a structured organization to achieve their country. It never happened anywhere in the world. They all transition. They all transition into government in exile. The government in exile issue declaration for new ones like Namibia, like Algeria. The old one issue peaceful re-declaration of the lost country. This is how every other countries get their country, their lost country. Our own case is a case of lost in country. Our own case is a case of that our leaders have been arrested, put in prison. What can we do to bring them out? Why can't we do what people of Bangladesh did? Why can't we do people of Namibia, people of South Africa? Why can't we do such a thing? If it has been working for others, why can't we think that it worked for us? For how long you are doing one thing? Like those who are marching the streets of Nigeria every day, solidarity, we shall always fight for our rights without no action. You on the protest in Ireland. Today, I am going to give you an example with the history of Ireland again. Those that IPOB in Ireland are doing protests. How Ireland becomes a country. And when the leader was arrested, what the people of Ireland did that triggered the leader to be released. What the people of Ireland did that triggers the release of their leader, who was Ireland, where IPOB was doing 1 million men march. Is it by marching? Is how the leader was being released? Is it by marching? Is it by marching that their leader was released? If I may ask you, why can't you start from that country? Ask them. I heard that one guy on television said that you lost to your country, your leader was arrested. What exactly the accurate that you people did that triggered the release of your leader? How did he come out? Why can't you ask such a question from that country where you are standing? We are doing 1 million men march. Can't you ask again? How did the international community see people that are under self-determination with protests? Why can't you ask, how did the international global community see a people with protest under self-determination and the people that are issue a peaceful declaration or peaceful re-declaration? Which one? Why can't you ask a question? Or then what you are doing about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is it how other countries in the past has done? What was their job? How do they release their leaders? And why always that all of them that were released was a president of that new nation in the first place? It's not by gragra. It's not by what you think. It's not about how I feel. But it is about the reality. Sometimes the approach of a game changes. That is why the word is telling us that the approach to us to regain Biafra, our lost country, back, that we must remove away from street Protestants into a pure structure government in exile. What else do you want? The world has only given you the expo. That is what I'm giving to you. So that is why I am here to stop you or to put evidence that will use against you when you will start saying, had I know. In the America declaration, people said no. Over 500 said, we don't want America to be a nation. And without that peaceful sitting down of America, declaring America as a country and try to protect it, which is Morocco was the first that gave them recognition on the same situation that we have today. America did not fall from heaven. America started from somewhere. When America was declared, about 500 said no. The sign against 56 is because of the 56 men's signature. That is why today America is a country. The 5 men fell. The 500 men fell. And the 56 win against 500. Because of what? Because of the legal documents from the international global community. From that international global community, the criteria is what we have to follow. It's not for them to follow us. It is very important that you understand that many leaders has been arrested, many has been thrown into prison, but later come out. When they came out, what is the thing that makes them to come out? Why can't you apply the same rule? Why? Why can't we try to do what others have done in the past? And they are all country that you are enjoying. Even you are enjoying in Ireland, where you have. Why can't you go and carry this your flag and protest from Nigerian government now? Go down there and protest. Go to Nigeria and hold your flag and protest. What will happen? The time for us to face this reality squarely is here. And we will never stop. I said what? We can never stop, whether I like it or not. Because after Chukwuemeka lost the war, the only first time that we have gotten it right is now, not any other time. And now we got it right, we must exercise our patience. We must exercise what? Patience, like every other country. If America can wait for a year and 6 months before they will achieve first one, and wait for 3 years, before France, we can recognize them. Before France, we came. They spend another 3 years. Do not panic, because we're on the right track. One minute. Let me share to group WhatsApp, so those that are there can get the message. Have you shared the program? Have you liked the program? Or the program doesn't want to be shared and to like? Okay. If you endeavor to do so, nice. If you do not do, nice also. It is important, because through that, the message is going. So, my people, let us go straight to today's program. And you can see the yesterday program. I thank all of you that joined us on the program, those in the comment section, those in the studio, to also contribute one another important issue. Thank you for that. The answer I want to give you is what I asked as a question on my own thinking. Said, I want all the information about leaders that started movements and form organization to achieve a country, but he was arrested, put in prison, and another leader issued peaceful redeclaration of the country. And the first leader was released because his people have achieved international recognition. That is why he was released. Now, let's go to the answer. Listen to this.
The political and historical archetype you are describing, where a liberation leader is imprisoned, a successor issues a peaceful declaration or redeclaration of independence, and international recognition eventually forces the original leader's release, has occurred in a few notable global and historical contexts. The two most prominent historical examples that mirror this exact dynamic are Bangladesh and Cyprus, followed by contemporary movements that mirror this exact legal and political strategy. 1. Bangladesh, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and Tajuddin Ahmad, 1971. This is the most precise historical match for the sequence of events you described. The movement and the organization, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman led the Awami League, pushing for the autonomy and eventual independence of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, through massive civil disobedience. The arrest. On March 26, 1971, the Pakistani military launched Operation Searchlight. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was arrested in Dhaka, flown to West Pakistan, and placed in solitary confinement in a prison in Lialpur, now Faisalabad, under charges of treason. The peaceful redeclaration. While Mujib was in prison, his close associate Tajuddin Ahmad stepped up as the leader. He formed a provisional government in exile, and, on April 17, 1971, formally read the Proclamation of Independence at Baidyanath Tala, renamed Mujibnagar. This was a formal legal redeclaration reinforcing Mujib's initial midnight radio broadcast. The release via international recognition. The provisional government successfully lobbied the international community. Following military intervention and overwhelming global political pressure, foreign nations began recognizing Bangladesh. Facing immense international isolation and the reality of a newly recognized sovereign state, Pakistan was forced to unconditionally release Sheikh Mujibur Rahman on January 8, 1972, allowing him to return home as a free hero. 2. Cyprus, Archbishop Makarios III and the EOKA movement, 1950s. Another historical parallel, where exile/imprisonment was broken by an international settlement and sovereign recognition. The movement, Archbishop Makarios III, was the political and spiritual leader of the Greek Cypriot movement, seeking independence from British colonial rule. The arrest. In March 1956, because of his political defiance and ties to the nationalist organization EOKA, British authorities arrested Makarios and exiled him to the remote Seychelles Islands, essentially a political imprisonment. The declaration/agreement. While Makarios was removed from the scene, the political leadership continued to fight for sovereignty. Rather than a unilateral declaration, peaceful diplomatic negotiations led to the Zurich and London agreements in 1959. The release. Because the international community and the negotiating powers recognized the transition of Cyprus into an independent republic, Great Britain was forced to release Makarios from exile. He returned to Cyprus and was democratically elected as the sovereign nation's first president. 3. Contemporary movements following this blueprint. The exact pattern you mentioned, an original leader being held in prison while a contemporary governance structure steps in to issue a peaceful declaration to secure international standing, is a strategy actively utilized by modern self-determination movements. The Biafran movement context. A highly prominent modern example of this specific blueprint is the Biafran self-determination movement. The first leader and organization, Nnamdi Kanu, founded and led the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, utilizing civil disobedience and broadcasts to campaign for independence. The arrest. Kanu was arrested by Nigerian authorities, faced prolonged detention, and was eventually sentenced on state charges, remaining behind bars. The peaceful redeclaration. In response to his continuous imprisonment and the political deadlock, an administrative shift occurred. A separate leadership framework stepped forward to pivot the struggle into a purely diplomatic, institutional space. This culminated on November 29, 2024, in Lahti, Finland, with the formal peaceful declaration of the United States of Biafra as a sovereign entity. The legal and strategic goal. The explicit strategy behind this peaceful redeclaration is to fulfill international legal frameworks, like the 1933 Montevideo Convention criteria. By establishing a functioning government, issuing state documentation, and pursuing formal diplomatic ties, the administration aims to garner the international recognition necessary to legally compel the release of the primary leader and solidify statehood. The political and historical archetype you are describing, where a liberation leader is imprisoned, a successor issues a peaceful declaration or redeclaration of independence, and international recognition eventually forces the original leader's release, has occurred in a few notable global and historical contexts. The two most prominent historical examples that mirror this exact dynamic are Bangladesh and Cyprus, followed by contemporary movements that mirror this exact legal and political strategy. 1. Bangladesh, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and Tajuddin Ahmad, 1971. This is the most precise historical match for the sequence of events you described. The movement and the organization, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman led the Awami League, pushing for the autonomy and eventual independence of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, through massive civil disobedience. The arrest. On March 26, 1971, the Pakistani military launched Operation Searchlight. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was arrested in Dhaka, flown to West Pakistan, and placed in solitary confinement in a prison in Lialpur, now Faisalabad, under charges of treason. The peaceful redeclaration. While Mujib was in prison, his close associate Tajuddin Ahmad stepped up as the leader. He formed a provisional government in exile, and, on April 17, 1971, formally read the Proclamation of Independence at Baidyanath Tala, renamed Mujibnagar. This was a formal legal redeclaration reinforcing Mujib's initial midnight radio broadcast. The release via international recognition, the provisional government successfully lobbied the international community. Following military intervention and overwhelming global political pressure, foreign nations began recognizing Bangladesh. Facing immense international isolation and the reality of a newly recognized sovereign state, Pakistan was forced to unconditionally release Sheikh Mujibur Rahman on January 8, 1972, allowing him to return home as a free hero. 2. Cyprus. Archbishop Makarios III and the EOKA movement, 1950s. Another historical parallel, where exile/imprisonment was broken by an international settlement and sovereign recognition. The movement, Archbishop Makarios III, was the political and spiritual leader of the Greek Cypriot movement, seeking independence from British colonial rule. The arrest. In March 1956, because of his political defiance and ties to the nationalist organization EOKA, British authorities arrested Makarios and exiled him to the remote Seychelles Islands, essentially a political imprisonment. The declaration/agreement. While Makarios was removed from the scene, the political leadership continued to fight for sovereignty. Rather than a unilateral declaration, peaceful diplomatic negotiations led to the Zurich and London agreements in 1959. The release. Because the international community and the negotiating powers recognized the transition of Cyprus into an independent republic, Great Britain was forced to release Makarios from exile. He returned to Cyprus and was democratically elected as the sovereign nation's first president. 3. Contemporary movements following this blue pattern you mentioned, an original leader being held in prison while a contemporary governance structure steps in to issue a peaceful declaration to secure international standing, is a strategy actively utilized by modern self-determination movements. The Biafran movement context. A highly prominent modern example of this specific blueprint is the Biafran self-determination movement. The first leader and organization, Nnamdi Kanu, founded and led the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, utilizing civil disobedience and broadcasts to campaign for independence. The arrest. Kanu was arrested by Nigerian authorities, faced prolonged detention, and was eventually sentenced on state charges, remaining behind bars. The peaceful redeclaration. In response to his continuous imprisonment and a political deadlock, an administrative shift occurred. A separate leadership framework stepped forward to pivot the struggle into a purely diplomatic, institutional space. This culminated on November 20.
This is platform. Do you see the name of the platform? This USB Research TV that believe in USB government, that have issued the peaceful declaration of the lost country. I am here to prove to Ogenkere. I am here to prove to IPOB. I am here to prove to BGC. I am here to prove to CRC. I am here to prove to MASOB. I am here to prove to go 247 PUC or PUK. I am here to prove to all my about 100 men, those who claim they are 100 men, that when leader of all this country was arrested, that the people they was arrested in the name of organization. The leader was in prison. The people he left outside transitioned the organization into a government in exile. And you had it here, that they issued declaration, working through diplomatic recognition, and they finally achieved recognition that all these leaders was released because of what? That when there was tagged terrorists in the name of the organization they are using, that those outside changes that organization, transition into a government in exile. The government in exile now issue a peaceful declaration, or once you hear re, that one simply means that you lost it. That is why you go re-ladia. You have to do re-declaration of that lost country. You have to pronounce, like you have to redeclare it. You have to, Master Kanu said, until we redeem who we are. And he prayed for Biafra as a nation. So, this is what this page stands for. I am also here to tell those that in IPOB, those in the beach, those are Daddy or Rahman or Adandosho. This is kind of thing that used to debunk their lies. That Biafra has never been declared, yo. That Simon never remained in prison, yo. That Timothy Khan is this, yo, is that. Those that in the prison has finished their work. The work relies on you and I to achieve Biafra. And you and I to achieve Biafra as a country is the only way they can come out. Look at the history here. The only way they came out is what? That you and I must stand on the mandate of November the 29th, 2024. You see, the world has started using that example. It's not by me, it's not by you. That is why whenever I come to do program, I will first give you my question that I want you to type in your phone and find answer by yourself. Like I said, my question is, I want all the information about leaders that's arrested. Sorry, let me repeat it again. I want all the information about leaders that started movement with forming organization to achieve a country, but he was arrested, put in prison, and another leader issued peaceful declaration of the country. And the first leader was released because his people have achieved international recognition of diplomacy. So please, they start giving me the names of the situation of Mazin and the Kano, how they come out. They start giving me the history of people like Simon Ebanjoko, how they come out. You that are refusing to stand on the USB you are declared, you are the one keeping Simon Eba in Finland in prison. You are the one keeping Mazanakan in the prison. All of you who are against this diplomatic declaration of a lost country, all of you are the problem of Mazanakan. You want him to remain in prison. Why can't we do what people of Bangladesh did when the leader was arrested? Why can't we do what the Cyprus did? Why can't you do all this that Ireland did when the leader was arrested? Why you are you underground, you can't move forward, you remain in primary 1. Without the leader, you can't go to primary 2. I hope I have cleared your doubt and your mindset, because he said, I hope this broadcast channel is not under fallback group and the fraudulent Ogenkere. Now, have I answered? Have I cleared your doubts? I am here to support you as we are declared. The only way that Mazin and Kalam will be out as a president, nobody will charge him anything again. Mazin as a prime minister, Nobody will arrest him or charge him anything again. That's why I'm here. Let us continue.
9th, 2024, in Lahti, Finland, with the formal peaceful declaration of the United States of Biafra as a sovereign entity. The legal and strategic goal, the explicit strategy behind this peaceful redeclaration is to fulfill international legal frameworks, like the 1933 Montevideo Convention criteria. By establishing a functioning government, issuing state documentation, and pursuing formal diplomatic ties, the administration aims to garner the international recognition necessary to legally compel the release of the primary leader and solidify statehood.
I hope you are here. This is how the world reasons. And it's not easy. When it's come to the history and when it's come to the law that back a government in exile up, do not expect people to know about it. Our guest yesterday make it openly that he don't know anything much about international law of recognizing a new state or how it works. So do not expect because he's a white man, he also has empty brain. All the white men, they don't read the law, put it as their own. No. So if every other countries in the past can go through this process and that today their country and all their leaders was released and they are no longer in incarceration, why can't we do the same thing? Why? Why can't we do the same thing? To change the narrative and also to bring our leaders out. Why? So, Anya, I hope now you are satisfied. We must continue. So, now the explanation, the details of the program must start from now just in a common analysis that every human being will understand. See, the issue of Biafra is not about those that can call educated moron. It's not about those on the higher school. No. It's not about those on the professor level. It's not about academical. No. It is about the natural gift from God to pilot therefore Biafra as a country. Now, we start analyzing from paragraph to paragraph, like you know how we normally do it. The political and the historical archetype you are describing, now they start answering my question. When a liberation leader is prisoned, a successor issue a peaceful declaration or re-declaration of independence, and international recognition eventually force the original leader release. Eventually, when other countries recognize your country that was just declared, that it forces the release of the leader. Not by the court, not by the lawyer, not by the appeal court. Appeal court has never in the world released any leader who want to divide the existing country. The only thing that releases that leader is what? You and I standing on this mandate of USB, we are declared, whether you like it or not. They had it here, and we are going to examples of countries where it was happened to them before they become a nation, and how their leaders was released. Eventually, force the original leader release has occurred in few notable global and historical contexts. It has happened before. This case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the case of Simon Ekpa, two of them, their case has happened somewhere in this world. You are not the first people. You IPOB, you BGC, you BRC, you Fallback Bridge, you Ogenkere Erima. Invite Ogenkere. Let him come and tell us what he's doing. Those that have used that way to achieve a country. Invite Chiamaka Ajere. Bring the legend. I want to debate with them. I need all these criminals that is social media. I want all these buffoons that is social media. Never know how to achieve country. And what it takes to build a new nation when you lost it. Bring all of them. I want engagement with them. Give me, if Chiamaka Ajere, give me one country that when the leader was arrested, they declined from declaration of that country. I will shut this YouTube down. I said I will not talk again. Shebi, he will bet his 10 and 10 told. Chiamaka Ajere, I want you. Come. Bring over and kill. Bring Sani Akwarawa. I want them. Bring IPOB in general. Let them prove to us one country that is by court releasing their leader and by protest they become a country. Bring one example. All you do is to deceive our people. That's all you do. Because you want money. You want to remain relevant. You want people to be hearing from you. And what you are preaching hasn't happened anywhere. And the world has already set the road how to become a country. Why do you follow the criteria of traveling to any other country in the world? Why don't you change it in your own and do your way and sneak into a country that where you are to the Chiamaka Ajere? Do you sneak in Chiamaka Ajere? Don't you present evidence documents before you can transition? Even at the country you will stop, before you finally reach the country you are going to, they said you will try enter transition. It's only in Biafra movement that there is no transition. Once leader is being arrested, they will be waiting for him to come out to continue. What are you doing? Why is that when your father give birth to you and he's no longer alive, you give a birth to continue the lineage of the family? Why can't you remain like Oko? Why can't you remain like Oko? So when you die, the family will clear off. Why can't you remain like that? Give me one example. One country that all this rubbish that all of you are doing today is how they become a country. Give me that country or that group that was fighting to have their nation and the leader was arrested. The only thing they do is to wait for him to come out. Bring one example where it has happened to Chiamaka Ajere, Sani Akwarawa, Ugo 419, Ogenkere, IPOB Masop. Give me one example. One country that when they're in organization, in the name of the organization, that the leader was arrested and they wait for the letter to come out, that he's the only one who will issue a declaration, but you refuse that once they grab him in, that his work has ended, that he left for you to continue the process, that you are the one will set him free. He cannot fight for himself anymore. And the others find their way out. Help the leaders. You are only to blackmail your own, proving that you have zero head. Because inside coconut there is a water. There is no common water in your head. That is why you never learn from your leaders. At all. You never learn from them. The only thing you do is to remain like Okoko you are. Proving nothing. Because you know nothing. You only come to make money. Eat and go. That is why you come. The only way relevant is by, if not for Biafra, nobody knows who you are. And today, Biafra has built all of you. You build a house. You become somebody. What you did was abandon the Biafra, and you are waiting for Mazen Kanu to come out And he will continue that he's only the one that will declare Biafra, that he's supposed to declare on second. Because of he was arrested and did not declare on second, he never declared. Is it how the world look at it? Is it how the world want it? And is it how it has happened to every other nation in the world? Let's continue. Now, example 2. I'm going to give you 5 today. 5 leaders that was arrested. Even in Ireland, where you are doing 1 million men march. Even in Ireland. The 2 most prominent historical example that's exactly dynamic you are looking for is Bangladesh and Cyprus, followed by the external, legal, and political strategy. It has happened somewhere. Now, who are these? Number 1, Bangladesh. Mujibur, Rahman, and Ahmad, 1971. After we have lost Biafra in 1970. Rahman was arrested in 1971. Put in prison. What happened? This is the most specific history. Matches what you are searching for on event to describe. The movement, the organization, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman led a woman league. That is AWAMI is the name of organization he formed, pushing for the autonomy and eventually independence of the Eastern Pakistan, now Bangladesh. Through a massive civil disobedience, he used it. Disobedience that we are using right now, he uses Bangladesh leader Rahman, Mujibur, use it. What happened? The arrest on March 26, 1971. I must give you fact and figure. And the year, the month it happens. Not premise. The Pakistan military launched Operation Searchlight. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was arrested in Dhaka, flew to Western Pakistan, and placed in solidarity confinement in a prison in Lipinpo. Now, on the charge of what? Terrorism is what they charge him. They sentenced him to life imprisonment. He could not be able to declare or re-declare Bangladesh. He was not the one. He was in prison. They gave him sentence to life imprisonment by hanging. Death penalty is what people of Pakistan give to him. They give him what? What happened? The people he left outside, Ahmad, issued the peaceful re-declaration. While Mujibur was in prison, another leader issued what he's fighting for. You had it. We are not the first people in this world to issue re-declaration of our lost country. Bangladesh did it when? In their own time. After the leader was arrested, March 26, 1971, and we lost Biafra War, 1970. While Mujibur was in prison, his close associate, Ahmed, stepped up as the leader. He formed professional government in exile. And on April 17, 1971, formally read the proclamation of independence at Bansakwit rematch in Mujibur. This was formal legal declaration reflecting Mujibur internal midnight radio broadcast what the leader was broadcasting before he was arrested. And what happened? Those he kept outside did what? They re-declare it back. Another leader stepped up while Mujibur was in prison. Ahmad, take over. What Mujibur could not be able to do by declaring that all they want is a country called Bangladesh out of Pakistan. He stood up as a close associate or assistant or acting. He started acting. April 17, 1971. And Mujibur was arrested March 26, 1917. You see how it's going. Now what happened? Let's continue. The release versus international recognition because of what? They have redeclared it by Ahmed. Remember that the leader who formed the organization was Mujibur, Rahman. He is the one that formed it. When he was in prison, Ahmed stood up. Ahmed never waited for him to come out. They never waited for the leader to come out. For Rahman, Mujibur to come out. They transition. They move forward. What the leader was fighting to do, they accomplish it. That is why we are on it right now. They release via international recognition. Without them declaring that Bangladesh is a country, through a government in exile in London and India. Israel have their own government in exile. And the government issued the declaration of Bangladesh as a country through vice government in exile. And they move forward. Well, what do you want when they say they move forward? After the declaration on that mandate, they start moving as what? Listen. The professional governments successfully lobbied the international community, like what USB is doing today. Following the military intervention and the overwhelming global political pressure, foreign nations began to recognize Bangladesh. Why Mujibur still remain in prison? Why Mujibur still remain in prison? He could not be able to declare it. He could not be able to announce that Bangladesh from today henceforth that Bangladesh is a country. He could not be able to announce it. What happened? He was arrested. Another person took over from him and they announced that Bangladesh from today is a country out of Pakistan. What happened? Facing immense international isolation and the reality of a new recognized sovereign state, Pakistan was forced to unconditional release of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman on January 8, 1972, allow him to return to homeland, to his home as a hero, a free man, the first president of Namibia. He became the first president of what? Bangladesh. But he was in prison. Without the recognition of Bangladesh, without the declaration, nothing to recognize. And he could not come out from because the Pakistan has sentenced him by hanging and waiting for death to execute him as they are waiting. Remember the speed they use. He was arrested March 28, 1971. Ahmed took over April 17, 1971, and issue peaceful declaration of Bangladesh. That's why Rahman was in prison. Ahmad is the name of the man who take over and do what? Re-declare it. And that declaration, they stand on it. This is what they call external remedial succession, to give the outside countries, outside international community to intervene in the case of Bangladesh and Pakistan. Without this peaceful declaration of Biafra as a country, nobody will intervene. You will do your protest for 1 million years. This year, we are in one protest. Ahmad n'otu na Ipob. Let's continue. The man that was sentenced to hanging, he was released. See how speed they run. And Obatulu was arrested on October. We issue very speedily, like people of Bangladesh. Our DPM step up and issue a peaceful declaration of Biafra as a country, like people of Bangladesh. What do? We say distance ourselves from the so-called government in exile. Do you also know that people have used that process to achieve their own country? Do you also know that? You never knew. Because they don't ask questions. Because the question we put that you were a liar and that you were deceiving people over all this while. Let's continue. The man that's supposed to be hanged. Then look at January 8, 1972. He was released and become the first president of Bangladesh. You are on. We are underground. We fall back. We on the program yesterday. The Fulef woman, whatever they call her, was telling people that Biafra has never that nobody declared Biafra. And he went to Finland on a broad daylight. Lying. To his gullibles. And they are praising her. Well, one thing I know that in this world, birds of the same feather must flock together. When people of Bangladesh take over and the organization, remember that the man who formed organization AWAMI League is the name of the organization he formed, and he was arrested under the name of this organization. For him to come out, the name of the organization has turned into a country, become a full sovereignty. He forced this recognition that comes from India, London, America, and all over the countries that recognize them, triggers what? He forced Bangladesh, forced Pakistan, who is holding their leader, Rahman of Bangladesh. He forces them to release him. He comes out. See, he no longer meets AWAMI League. What he met? He met a country called Bangladesh that he was fighting for. He's not fighting for league name. He's not fighting for organization. Those he left outside understanding, those that followed him know that what he's fighting for, that will give him money to fight, is for us to exit from Pakistan. They understand it clearly. And what happened? He comes out. Those he left outside, they said here that they have issued peaceful re-declaration. That is why Mujibur Rahman comes out, becomes a president of what? A nation. You are only wanting to come out to start preaching, sanitizing your mind, or sanitizing your mind. Child, after how many years? Let's go to number 2 country. Number 2, Cyprus. Archbishop Macarius the third. He formed an organization called EOKA Movement 1950. He formed the organization. The name of the organization is what? EOKA. In 1950, he formed the organization. Another historical parallel where exile imprisonment was broke by an international settlement and sovereign recognition. And now another person of Cyprus, a country called Cyprus. The leader who started the movement was arrested, put in prison. He formed an organization called EOKA, like Martin and the Khan forming IPOB organization. When this leader, Archbishop Macarius III, was arrested, what happened? The movement, Archbishop Macarius III was the political and the spiritual leader of the Greek Cyprus movement, seeking independence from British colonial rule. He was seeking his own under British colonial rule. What happened? The arrest. In March 15, 1956, he was arrested because of his political defense and the tie to the nationality organization. Do you hear it now? Nationality organization, EOKA, is the organization he formed. He formed the organization called EOKA. British authority arrested him, arrested Macarius, and exiled him to the routine jails in Ireland. Ultimately, political imprisonment, they imprisoned him. As Nigeria imprisoned Simon Mazen and the Kano, Finland imprisoned Simon Ebanjoko. What happened? The declaration of Cyprus from another leader, agreement why Macarius was removed from the scene. The political leadership continue to fight for sovereignty by transition into a government in exile. The uttered declaration, peaceful diplomacy negotiation led to the Zurich and the London Agreement in 1959. Remember, he was arrested 1956. Then in 1959, the people has been moving. Now diplomatic movement is going on. How Cyprus will become a country. What happened? Now the release. Because the international community and the negotiation power recognized the transition of Cyprus into an independent republic. Great Britain was forced to release Macarius from exile, where they are in exile, and he was released. He returned to the Cyprus and was elected as the sovereign nation first president. Oh, he comes out. They could not election. He became the first president of Cyprus. Remember that he was in prison. Immediately, the people was achieved recognition. The world recognizes Cyprus as a country, no longer as an organization. This leader was released. Did you hear that court release him? Did any appeal court release him? Did any lawyer release him? Did any lawyer release this man? Did anyone call a lawyer, release them? If I may ask you, you that is in IPOB, you that is in BGC, you are that Onowu, the old fool, Nwanyi amusu, Nwanyi mmiri ọjọọ, the pole Adadi Oramma was telling his girl that Biafra has never declares Biafra. Are you in the international community? Now, Adadi Oramma or Sheikh Amerike, Madam Pole. Are you international global community? That thing you are doing, end that place you are doing it. It's not going anywhere. That is the truth of the matter. And look at how this leader was released. he became the first what? First president of Cyprus. The man who was, how could someone who was in prison become a president without people outside putting things in order to make him to become a president? That is what USB stand. And in this 21st century, now you are going to hear those they use the example that are flowing this road that people of Bangladesh and Cyprus followed. Those that followed the road that's example of Cyprus, Bangladesh, or born again, you are not the one storing it in the archive. Now, listen. Listen. Constant primary movement follow this blueprint. The constant primary of those who follow this blueprint of Bangladesh and what? Cyprus. Those who follow this line. Look at the word. Let the word tell us. The art partner you mentioned are original leader being held in prison, while the content primary governance structure step into issue peaceful re-declaration to secure international standing is a strategy actively uttered by modern self-determination movement, the modern one. Listen. The Biafra movement context, a high promote model example of this specific blueprint is the Biafra self-referendum movement. Listen, sorry, self-determination movement. The first leader and the organization, Nnamdi Kanu, founder and the leader, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, utters civil disobedience and brokers to copy from independency like Bangladesh people and Cyprus. Now what happened? The arrest. Khan was arrested by a Nigerian authority, faced a plundered detention, and was eventually sentenced on the state charge, remained behind the bars. The peaceful re-declaration in response to the continuation, imprisonment, and the political deadlock, an administrative shift occurred. A separate leader framework stepped forward to prove that the struggle into a pure diplomatic institutional space. This was done on November 29, 2024 in Latif by Dr. Ngozi Orabeze with the formal peaceful declaration of United States of Biafra as a sovereign entity. The legal and the strategic goal. This expert strategy behind this peaceful declaration is the fulfillment of international legal framework, not protest, not fallback, not BGC, not waiting for Simon able to come out and continue where he stopped. What happened? They said the framework, like the 1933 Montevideo Convention criteria. Dr. Ngozi Orabeze establishing a blueprint of history, example, Cyprus and Bangladesh, and pushing for a formal diplomatic tie. The administration aimed to gather the international recognition necessarily to legal complete the release of their primary leader and all the leaders as they are maintaining the blueprint of example, history, Bangladesh, Cyprus in section 1 for them to get a full sovereignty. to release their leader through a peaceful declaration and what? Sovereignty of a nation. Listen to this section 1. Listen to it.
The political and historical archetype you are describing, where a liberation leader is imprisoned, a successor issues a peaceful declaration or redeclaration of independence, and international recognition eventually forces the original leader's release, has occurred in a few notable global and historical contexts. The two most prominent historical examples that mirror this exact dynamic are Bangladesh and Cyprus, followed by contemporary movements that mirror this exact legal and political strategy. 1. Bangladesh, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and Tajuddin Ahmad, 1971. This is the most precise historical match for the sequence of events you described. The movement and the organization, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman led the Awami League, pushing for the autonomy and eventual independence of East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, through massive civil disobedience. The arrest. On March 26, 1971, the Pakistani military launched Operation Searchlight. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was arrested in Dhaka, flown to West Pakistan, and placed in solitary confinement in a prison in Lialpur, now Faisalabad, under charges of treason. The peaceful redeclaration. While Mujib was in prison, his close associate Tajuddin Ahmad stepped up as the leader. He formed a provisional government in exile, and, on April 17, 1971, formally read the Proclamation of Independence at Baidyanath Tala, renamed Mujibnagar. This was a formal legal redeclaration reinforcing Mujib's initial midnight radio broadcast. The release via international recognition. The provisional government successfully lobbied the international community. Following military intervention and overwhelming global political pressure, foreign nations began recognizing Bangladesh. Facing immense international isolation and the reality of a newly recognized sovereign state, Pakistan was forced to unconditionally release Sheikh Mujibur Rahman on January 8, 1972, allowing him to return home as a free hero. 2. Cyprus, Archbishop Makarios III and the EOKA movement, 1950s. Another historical parallel, where exile/imprisonment was broken by an international settlement and sovereign recognition. The movement, Archbishop Makarios III, was the political and spiritual leader of the Greek Cypriot movement, seeking independence from British colonial rule. The arrest. In March 1956, because of his political defiance and ties to the nationalist organization EOKA, British authorities arrested Makarios and exiled him to the remote Seychelles Islands, essentially a political imprisonment. The declaration/agreement. While Makarios was removed from the scene, the political leadership continued to fight for sovereignty. Rather than a unilateral declaration, peaceful diplomatic negotiations led to the Zurich and London agreements in 1959. The release. Because the international community and the negotiating powers recognized the transition of Cyprus into an independent republic, Great Britain was forced to release Makarios from exile. He returned to Cyprus and was democratically elected as the sovereign nation's first president. 3. Contemporary movements following this blueprint. The exact pattern you mentioned, an original leader being held in prison while a contemporary governance structure steps in to issue a peaceful declaration to secure international standing, is a strategy actively utilized by modern self-determination movements. The Biafran movement context. A highly prominent modern example of this specific blueprint is the Biafran self-determination movement. The first leader and organization, Nnamdi Kanu, founded and led the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, utilizing civil disobedience and broadcasts to campaign for independence. The arrest. Kanu was arrested by Nigerian authorities, faced prolonged detention, and was eventually sentenced on state charges, remaining behind bars. The peaceful redeclaration. In response to his continuous imprisonment and the political deadlock, an administrative shift occurred. A separate leadership framework stepped forward to pivot the struggle into a purely diplomatic, institutional space. This culminated on November 29, 2024, in Lahti, Finland, with the formal peaceful declaration of the United States of Biafra as a sovereign entity. The legal and strategic goal. The explicit strategy behind this peaceful redeclaration is to fulfill international legal frameworks, like the 1933 Montevideo Convention criteria. By establishing a functioning government, issuing state documentation, and pursuing formal diplomatic ties, the administration aims to garner the international recognition necessary to legally compel the release of the primary leader and solidify statehood.
Are you hearing it? And your own case is different. And did you hear that when the leader was arrested, did they hear that they are doing 1 million march? 1 million men march. The IPOB family in Ireland, we are here to do 1 million men march. They are protesting, release our leader. Now, Mwokoko. Arabachaginte. in IPOB, ụmụ ekwensu, ụmụ ajan, ndị ọjọọ jọrọ njọ. You don't know, you cannot ask a question. This IPOB I was carrying on my head. I formed 2 units in my area because of those are not working. We're standing that with this protest one day. When we march on, when we roll on the street with different color of uniform of IPOB, we have white, we have red. And here you are now, one day through this protest, Biafra. One day, America, one country, as yes, Biafra is a country. I never knew at the worst time I was making noise. I never knew that the only way is to transition. And this, look at this word. Bangladesh, when the leader was arrested, they did what? They issue what? They declared their country. Cyprus, they declare. Do you know what is called? External remedial section. That is the word. Because without that external remedial section, the world will never talk about you. Without a peaceful declaration, the world will talk about us. We are not giving them power to come and talk about us. But with this, we have given them power to talk about Biafra, to recognize us. Look at all these, do these two so far that issue it. Do they not recognize myself a country? Do you hear that there was somewhere doing protests in different countries in the world, and one day the world recognized their country and the leader was released? For how long? Onye mara show me alaga gbu no so n'anya na-eke gbu unu n'orie gbu na nkwọ. Oga adoro na mma. All of you that refuse support USB declared for us that achieve recognition will be out. Someone will be out. All of you that are sabotaging it. Look at all these. Look at these 2 countries. Do you hear that the leader was out and start protests? They all come out. They was arrested in the name of organization. They come out to meet a country and they become the first president of their countries. Section 2. In case there is link there, if you want to join us, you can join and make a comment and you can go based on what we are doing. You can also, part of the program of yesterday, you can also talk about it. Now, section 2. The question is not enough for me. And I ask another question. What is my question again? I will play that. I will just play it and like it. I will not go full detail because of it's part of what we just did now. But I want it to be clear to everyone. And I ask again, I said, I need more clear information about these leaders that was arrested and the name of second person who issued peaceful declaration as an acting leader and achieve international recognition of their country. And that is why the leader, that is why the arrested leader was released in the name of country, and he became the president of the country. This is my question. So listen to the answer. Now, I want them to give us the full names of those that the leader was arrested. They never fall back. They never went underground. They moved forward by forming the government in exile, issue peaceful declaration or peaceful declaration. Listen to this. Hey, Obu Mazi Nandi Kanu, Biafra declare Beya, Biafra Bobere country. Obu Simon, Biafra declare Beya, Biafra na Koiri. But this, there is no time to have mess on all of you because so much name. Amadio Hagamawu Chuono, note. This, if we have one pro no nako, ono got here one after the other in due time.
The exact leaders you are referring to are Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the imprisoned leader who became the founding president, and Tajuddin Ahmad, the acting leader and prime minister who issued the redeclaration and ran the government in exile. The detailed history of how this strategy was executed, how they secured international recognition, and how it directly caused the president's release provides a powerful historical blueprint. The imprisoned leader, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, known honorifically as Bangabandhu, friend of the Bengal, Mujib was the undisputed voice of the Bengali self-determination movement. The crisis and arrest. In March 1971, after the Pakistani military refused to hand over power following a democratic election victory, they launched a massive military crackdown. In the early hours of March 26, 1971, Mujib managed to broadcast a brief declaration of independence before being arrested by Pakistani commandos. The captivity. He was flown secretly to West Pakistan and kept in a solitary cell in a desert prison. He faced a secret military trial for treason and was sentenced to death. He had no contact with the outside world and did not even know a war was being fought in his name.
Okay.
The acting leader, Tajuddin Ahmad. Tajuddin Ahmad was Mujib's brilliant political strategist and general secretary of the party. When the military struck, Tajuddin disguised himself, crossed the border into India, and immediately went to work creating a legal framework for the new state. The formal redeclaration, April 17, 1971. Tajuddin knew that a loose guerrilla movement would not win global support. He gathered the surviving elected members of parliament at a secure, liberated mango grove near the border, renamed Mujibnagar. There, he formally established the Provisional Government of Bangladesh and read the Proclamation of Independence, the state architecture. To maintain absolute legal legitimacy, Tajuddin's proclamation named the imprisoned Sheikh Mujibur Rahman as the official, sovereign president of the new country. Tajuddin took the role of prime minister, the executive acting leader running the state, while Syed Nazrul Islam served as acting president in Mujib's absence. Achieving international recognition and forcing the release, Tajuddin Ahmad understood that the key to saving Mujib's life and winning the country lay in international law and global diplomacy. 1. Diplomatic isolation of the oppressor. Tajuddin's government set up diplomatic missions in Calcutta, New Delhi, London, and Washington. They successfully shifted global public opinion by exposing the humanitarian crisis, turning international superpowers against Pakistan's actions. 2. Sovereign recognition. By December 1971, the provisional government's diplomatic push succeeded. Major regional powers formally recognized Bangladesh as a sovereign state. 3. The leverage for release. On December 16, 1971, the Pakistani military forces in the east surrendered. Bangladesh was officially free, and dozens of nations recognized its sovereignty. Because Bangladesh was now recognized globally as an independent country, Pakistan could no longer treat Sheikh Mujibur Rahman as an internal rebel or traitor to be executed. Under immense international diplomatic pressure, and facing the reality that their prisoner was now the legally recognized head of a foreign sovereign state, Pakistan was forced to release him unconditionally. The return and presidency. On January 8, 1972, Mujib was freed from prison. He flew to London, where he was received by the British Prime Minister as a head of state, and then to New Delhi. On January 10, 1972, he returned to Dhaka to a crowd of over 1 million people. Because Tajuddin Ahmad had kept the seat of power perfectly preserved for him, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman immediately took his rightful place as the leader and president of the independent country. The historical lesson. This blueprint demonstrates that when an original leader is locked away, the establishment of a formal peaceful administrative structure by an acting leader is not a betrayal, it is a legal shield. By issuing a formal redeclaration and gaining international recognition, the acting administration creates the sovereign leverage necessary to break the prison doors open.
The English is very simple. I want to welcome those on the platform already as we continue. I see 3 p.m. 3 p.m. you are here, good from my location, and you are welcome to the program. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. My sister Regina Kelela Mgimanya Mama Meragi. My brother Mazi Chino Kelela Ngwe egwu na-aga o nwere egwu nwa of our sister gụrụ ọ sị ọnụ ọcha eju m ọnụ o ndị niile chịrị anyị ọchị mgbe anyị nọ na nsogbu ha niile abịala nụ ka ha kụrụ mmiri n'ite mmiri onye nke mere ya nara ekele. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's not easy actually, when we say It is Surugede dance is meant for the dance of the spirit, but people don't know. No, we are many. Our leader will always say, you will hear so many people shouting, singing, Biafra, Biafra. They are not there for the Biafra. You hear them use the same word. What we do is the things of the spirit. What you don't know is bigger than you. But look at that person. The proverb they are using it in opposite way. You see, it's quite unfortunate that the people that we are looking up to before now, remember, if if they'll tell me that today I will be one of the people pushing, speaking for our Biafra freedom, talking for our favor, I wouldn't have believed it because we are looking upon the people that call themselves leadership tussles. Years back, we are looking up to those that call themselves DOS, people that is following and read them as the Kano, hoping that they are the people that is gonna give us Biafra. But here we are today. Table just turn around. My brother Mazishino, you said it when you were bouncing, jumping with them, carrying flag in the zoo, which you cried on one of your program recently about the the the
Loss of my
demands of
brother.
your brother.
Mm.
So then all you think was that holy, 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 holy is gonna give us Biafra. Okay, Mehabam Nanya is gonna give us
Yes.
Biafra. With all your mind, this month is the month of Sabah for we
Yes.
the Biafran people. Because all these people that died, if many of them are here today to notice that what they did last time is not the rightful way, they wouldn't have died today. But here you are, even those that use them, that set them up for their own use, and they have gotten into their destruction. Those people are still toying on that same role. Remember, our brother Michael Arnold once posted that you can't be doing the same thing always and expect different answer. I've said this on your platform last time, and I've said it in many platforms. Many of us, we the Biafran people that travel all over the world, we are when they say there is nowhere you go, you will not see Igbo man. Any place you went to, any country you went to, you did not see Igbo people. Leave that country and run away. You know that the country is not habitable. One no wouldn't hear my man.
Remember now.
Now, you and I know that anywhere we found ourselves today in all part of the world, something prompted us to be there. Nwanne o nwere ihe mere anyị ji nọ n'ebe ahụ. It is not our will. Ọwụ mmasị anyị na anyị ga-aga ebe ahụ ga nọdị. O nwere ihe mere ya. O nwere ihe mere ya. And majority of those countries anyị nọ, they have passed through what we are facing today. They passed through that road. One thing you need to do, if you are on the right track, whether you are a gangster or whatever, because onye ara na-ebu ụzọ akpọ mmadụ onye ara. Ask yourself question. Go deep down the history of that country. I believe before you get any document of any country, you must pass through their history. You must know how the country came in existence. You must know what they passed through. Have you asked yourself, according to the history of the country you are into, what they do to be where they are today? Are you doing it because you want to be where they are today? Are you doing exactly what they did in the past years to be where they are today? Or you are against those that said their country will not stand on their own, and you are fighting against it? Remember, this thing, if you be truthful to ourselves, you know that what you are doing today, fighting against USB, that country that is sheltering you, that country that you reside today, people that stood People that you are trying to repeat what they did against that country are no more, and their history didn't end well. How do you think that your own history will end well? By doing what you are doing today. The island we know today, island is where the highest sabotage reside, and that island suffered more in the hand of the British.
Yes.
Ireland suffered more in the hand of the British. Later, they got their sense. Those carrying placards protesting in the street of Ireland. Have you deep down this history of Ireland to know why how Ireland become what they are today? Ask yourself, what you are doing today, was it how Ireland did before they be where they are today? That is by the way. Yesterday program, I am so. In fact, that program is the reason why I sang the song I sang earlier. You see, this time around, we must bring that truth to them. That thing they said they hid in the book for black man, we are there in the inside that book. We are bringing it out. There's a
Exactly.
person that wrote to our brother Mike Arnold. He said he's not too versatile. He's not too confident with international law. Nwanne
Yeah.
okwu ka o kwuru. Nwanne okwu ka o kwuru.
Yes.
Ọ chọghị ịga deep. Ọ okwu ka o kwuru. Onye ka ọ na-akọrọ? Kedu onye ọ na-akọrọ? Kedu onye ọ na-akọrọ? Now, listen. Mike Arnold has been in the zoo for a very long time.
Yes.
Okwu ha okwu arụ na-eme na zoo. Ka ihe o ji okwu ha okwu arụ na-eme na zoo? Because onwebeghị platform, onwebeghị the people of the zoo have not raised alarm. They have not raised their hand and said, "Count me, I'm here." Why everybody is talking today about Iheneme Nigeria war? We the Biafran people, USB government gave them the mandate to speak.
Yes. Now.
That's why you hear everybody speaking today, because minus USB giving them that mandate and that peaceful declaration. Any country that raise Obra against Nigeria will take them to court, because they will say you are undermining our sovereignty.
Sovereignty.
Since I may declare, another can use header statement.
Remember.
Since I may declare, remember, they call IPOB DOS non-state actors. How about no
Yes.
Biafra government non-state actor now? There are some ways that sins in their mouth today, but they were using it fluently, freely during the time of IPOB Nigeria. And yet these criminals don't want to sit back and realize that they are not doing it right. That this is the right time we made it right. Honestly, yesterday program was so massive. You see, white man, the only thing they will not do is to see you suffering. They will find a way to help you, for you to get out of that you're suffering. They will be looking at you. They can't even tell you what to do. Can you imagine the question our brother Exodus asked our brother Mike Arnold? Are you aware that Biafra had been declared? He said yes. He said yes. But the mediocres, he know what that means. Are you aware that Dr. Ngozi is the DPM? He said yes. Are you aware our brother Simon Ekpa is the PM? He said yes. But look at the mediocres coming to him, trying to talk one or two things with them. He discussed with them, but he never told them that, my brother, your people have declared. What they did is right. What they took is the right step. Go and join them. But what exactly is he telling them? He's telling them that you guys will not be having issues in your midst, and you expect people to listen to you. You are fighting yourselves. Man, for him to cut the matter short, are you not a Biafran? Because they know what is happening. Are you not among those that went to Finland to declare? Then why leaving that your mandate and be fighting yourselves in social media? You see that those people will sit back and rethink. But he's romancing words with them. He doesn't want to hit the points to them. So this is to tell you that whatever thing that is happening, they already know. My brother, you be fat TV. Our recognition will not pass this year. Mark today's date.
Who's coming?
Recognition of BF USB will not pass this 2026. We are going to shock people. Let me allow our sister to air her own sense. Thank you so much. I'm still here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Diva Goddess, please have the mic. Pastor Rose, are you close to your mic? Maybe I think he's not close to his mic. Okay.
I am here. You
Okay.
have
Good
to
afternoon.
be patient. Even
Okay.
triple M, Keki Menam. Thank
You
you.
do the man guy, you do the one that I'm here. I'm cool.
Aha. Biafra TV professor. I greet you. If any na-aba n'anya. I just want to say a big thank you for the program you guys anchored yesterday. This shows maturity. This shows we have grown. This shows we are doing it in a rightful way. That yesterday, I was saying in my mind na ọkụkọ agbasala ekpesi, that the kingdom of ndị Sabotua will go agog. And immediately, you people are still on. And some pole. That's why I came in. Afa hamaka, amwegbuola. Really pole. When my hand up, people don't know what is pole. That name is a nchekata and say yes. The Pules came up instead of you to be happy. Yes, this is part of what we are looking for. Airing our voices. At least somebody abụghị onye obodo gị. Bet osi adụnyere m unu ukwu. Ka m tinyekwu onu m n'onu unu. For the world to know, especially side ebe nke m nọ. It's like that side. We have the voices. Ka ntinyekwu onu m, maybe onu m, ndị obodo anyị nukwu onu m. Fa ga-ama na efe a bụ eziokwu. And you are there. If ụmụnne gị gbakọtara ọnụ na-eme, kwule like you are there discrediting them. My grandmother say, iwewe ha na my grandmother ọkpọ gị nkakwụ ma nna ịrụcha na-arịra nya onye mata nke imetere o ji kpọọ gị nkakwụ. So one day when we were little, adịma na nkakwụ na-esi isi, you understand, and nobody eats like nkakwụ the way oke is being eaten. Ọ sị na ibu na oke na-amụta ụmụ neta ụmụ ya anya ifu ebe oke mụrụ nwa ọkọdụlọ ụmụ ya. Oje gbapụ oke mụrụ nwa that oke mụrụ nwa doesn't run too far, is always around ụmụ ya. Mana nkakwụ bụ ọmụta ọrapụlụ idu. Nya nkakwụ never stays with his own babies. Ọmụ ha na ọrapụlụ ya n'ọfịa. So when you say this pole of a thing, then my mind now strike of nkakwụ ọmụta ọrapụlụ idu. Nkakwụ that does not take care of his own. Ị pụtara na-agwa Mike Arnold that the people he came to their platform that they don't have name, that they are all crimo. You were speaking it that you don't know how to air yourself in good English as Arnold. You even insulted Arnold, calling him annoyed. If I don't call your name very well, I don't go to school. And you know what you are doing. You know his name very well. And
Exactly.
they're using it like a kind like caricature, and you are a journalist that has a platform. Then you think that Mark Arnold, Abrugo Mwogbogi nke Nigeria, ndị Biafra, in a territory anyhow. He say, I don't go to school. If I don't call your name, but don't be angry. If your name is annoyed, watch yourself. You are overstepping boundary. Now you are telling Anon somebody like Rose is a crimo. That's not fake name. Somebody like Kai is a crimo. Somebody like Exodus is a crimo. Somebody like Chino is a crimo, that they are not using their name, they are using their fake name. And I ask you, what name are you using on your platform? What name are you using? At times, you shoot in a but at times, what
Every
anger?
time, or at times, every time.
Okay, thank you. Every time you live in anger, you live in hatred, you live in pain, you live in lasciviousness, you live in jealousy, you live in hatred, and there is nobody that will tell you you are just misstepping your bounds. I want to ask you, your platform, what is there on your platform? Your name is Chikodi Mary Ike. Is that what you're using on your platform? Then you now have the effrontery and throwing stone on another man's glass house. Then I want to ask you, Arise TV, where Oseni, Ojiniko, Pei, Akpati, is that so? That platform they came on, that they are presenting their stuff, is it not Arise TV? Is it like personalized name like Oseni, Akpati, Ojiniko, Pei, other people, and a whole lot of them? Then when you go to yes, CNN, when you go to Al Jazeera, at times, Chineke nonye pụrụ ime ihe niile. Hi, Jesus Christ. It's so painful doing something with a stark, mahakwa illiterate, overzealous wickedness. Now, if they ask you, you know that people you are castigating, they know you are a recalcitrant. They know you have nothing to offer. They kept you quiet and you think you are flying. You are calling Rose a crimo, a tea. That's a very big wit accusation. Do you have proof to it? This man you are now promoting Caterpillar. Remember, you have banter with Caterpillar. Remember, you told us that Caterpillar is a crimo. Remember, you told us that Caterpillar is a pie and bubisiesi. Then why are you bringing Caterpillar issue as if Caterpillar is somebody who, a saint? Nobody knows Caterpillar from anywhere. It is from your platform. This same shouting you are shouting. That's why we are having banter with Caterpillar. You told us about how Caterpillar was giving money to buy a bucket of mkpolako, and he ran away with it. Remigius, I could remember, Remigius was saying about shovel and digger, what Caterpillar stands for. It is in both of your programs that we heard of these people. Then how come Caterpillar become a good person? Now you are telling the whole international community to listen that Dr. Ngozo Arabeze asked Caterpillar to go do something to bomb Finland embassy, this, that. At times you watch the message you people are passing, it doesn't add up. Now, why Mark Arnold come in, or at times being invited? You can equally, even what are you waiting to invite him in your own program? Why your brother you love so much, Vam, and his assistant? You didn't come on to air their program. Why are you always in a destructive side? What joy do you have in it? Every time nobody is doing it well, you are a condemner. You always condemn things. You want to be noticed, but my dear, we have run and we have exceeded your boundaries. And the more you come out to do this, I tell you, you cause yourself more pain, more harm. Go take your RC cycle medication. Go look for it. Take it, you need it. Because this thing is no more ordinary. Okay, Mazi Real Biafra TV is trying so hard, making researching into people who has made it, people who has come a long way, people who are in a situation we are into. There is one something Real Biafra TV said to Mark Arnold, and it is striking. And when you watch Mark Arnold, he picked it. Guy said, Mark Arnold, remember, American is Morocco that recognized them. Common Morocco recognized them. Look at his facial expression. He understood that very well. That America, everybody is now crying to come and help Nigeria, America this, America that. There was a time they weren't recognized. Catalonia, all these places that even myself, I don't even know much. It is this from Real Biafra TV. Even there was a time, even Texas was like a separate country. They even wanted, like if I'm a hey kuketa, enwebu the time ndi ile binu, say ndi kedumondi when Mazi was saying na habro Igbo, na habro Biafra, na habu honka, man o say tie na. Now they now want to now join this struggle. They want to be Biafrans because they have seen the seriousness. They have seen that you people have become. And I want to ask you, Kwele, that in your program, you have the effrontery. And somebody came under your comment section. You see, there is nothing like declaration of USB. You that never anything in your program that Namazi Namodeka. Mazi Chino, are you around? Triple
Yes, I'm
M,
here.
please help
We are
me,
here.
because when if I call to Edobe, was there a time Simon Ekpa said that the declaration of USB is annulled, that is cancelled?
No.
Triple
Not at
M.
all. Not at all. Instead, he said, with the way things are going, we might even redeclare before the date.
Before the date, but somebody was saying that Namaze na cancel that there is never a thing like that declaration, and even if there is any that people should go check the date, it is on the 2nd. What kind of witchcraft is this? It's not for people like us. It's just like for the new breed. Every day can the Madonna enwe awareness. You understand? Every day can the Madonna enwe awareness of this struggle. Oburo madu niile bata this struggle at the same time. People are having awareness today. People are having awareness yesterday. People is having awareness tomorrow. Was there a time when they hear this, they cannot comprehend it? This is pure sabotage. This is pure wickedness. This is pure witchcrafting. And you were there, you traveled. The person asks you under your comment section, why did you travel to Finland? What did you go there to do? You went there 2 times. And this same thing, you are still preparing to go to Finland again. Go and take your RS psycho medication. If you don't want, I type it for you. Okay, no matter what that medication is, go and take it. That is what you need. Because this thing upon that you to sit and use McArnold, insult McArnold, even his name. Just that maybe we are doing just condemning yourself, condemning yourself.
Mike Arnold doesn't even care. He said it there that they call him a man of name, that he doesn't care.
God bless you. You understand? So all these things, it hurts at times, you know, just because you just want to create a point, and the point in a honor. But I believe one thing, that our quietness is not cowardice. I believe one thing. There is a time you roll your way in. I know inecha mmadụ dị ka Rose anya, ọ sịkwa mmadụ na-eme ife jidekwa ọfọ jidekwa ogu, ndị na-achụ na-elebelụfa, because this is what the IPOB people now, the DOS people now, that is what they are regretting. This was the same thing they were doing, thinking they were doing Simon Ekpa, thinking they were doing Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Look at the end result. Learn from your experience. Today now, they are regretting. Judas betrayed his master, and he has no option than Oja Kwolea or Kwolea Odo. Kwole. This thing now, you people and your group are doing, there is an end to them. Maz, you cannot do a program. Just one day. Come up and do a program without Ngozi Orabeze. Just one program. Magodu Mige up to 2 or 3 or 4 likes. Since Ngozi Orabeze is feeding you. Ngozi Orabeze is the light you are using to see. One day, don't mention Ngozi Orabeze in your mouth. But at the same time, the name you are calling is leading you to your doom. I want to ask you, this man you call Triple M, help me. This one, that it doesn't have face.
Biafra is a unite.
Yes, thank you very
Biafra
much.
unite, okay.
I say that it doesn't have face. How can somebody who doesn't have face come and lead you? Or strike a Biafra disunite. Or Bariambana ha agba. Or Bachakwa na. Biafra disunite in I say people fake name. What is his name and what is his address and what is his stuff? That you are there. You see, go and take your RC psycho medication. I will always be touching them. Holy. I rest my mind.
Thank you. There's one thing I want to remind that woman and every Biafran. Why am I doing this program? I am doing this program to this where I debunk their lies with evidence. Any leader who was inside and let her come outside free, still declare the country is fighting for before he was arrested. Today, as of present, this program today, I have given 2 countries' name and the leader and the name of the organization they was using. Bangladesh was using WAYA as their own. The Cyprus leader was using EKOA as the name of the organization he was using. They are using this organization and they are under it. There was arrested, put in prison. Whatever happens, whatever people outside declare it, they never knew. Because they said that they limited them from having information of what is happening outside there, that they don't even know that people outside is fighting for them to come outside. How do they fight? They fight by forming government in exile. The government issue a peaceful declaration, or some of them issue a peaceful re-declared of their lost country. This is how the transition, and they stand on it. They move the name of their movement from group or organization into the name of a country. They now achieve what USB is doing today. That we achieve, we have declared it. We are only acting. They said on the blueprint of example of Bangladesh and Cyprus, that USB, instead of Biafra, is repeating the blueprint of this history by the declaration by the Conguzo Arabese. That is how we are repeating this blueprint history. That the world recognizes people of Bangladesh, people of Cyprus, their leader come out. They become the first president of their people. So those, once a leader is being arrested, his job has finished. It left for you and I to fight for their release and also to maintain that mandate to give Biafra as a country, which has been done. They said in the modern day world that Mazna Nekan was a leader of IPOB organization, that he was arrested, put behind the bars, that another leader emerged and issue a peaceful redecoration, maintaining the history of Bangladesh and Cyprus. That's through their peaceful declaration, they all achieved international diplomacy recognition. They become a country. This Rahman, who was sentenced to life sentence by death from the hands of Pakistan, come out, become a president. Not the Cyprus Archbishop Macarius the third come out from prison, become a president. Why are they president? They are president because of those they kept outside, understand what they are fighting for. And as they are inside, they continue transition that movement from organization to a country. And because of they have transitioned into a country, they come and becomes president of these countries. Obato Bie could not know that Biafra has been re-declared. It's right. Mazda Nekano could not, until we that are out here achieve what people of Bangladesh achieve as it is their leader. I want to also establish the fact that look at these two leaders so far, as we are going to hear another more two leaders for today if I end the program. Call to never free any leader that is fighting for a new nation that want to divide their country. They said that it is easy to forgive and release Boko Haram, put them into military or release them because of what? They are still fighting under the same country. But it is a very hard way to release that leader who is fighting to divide the country. Before. That is why I told you, for me, I have removed the emotion of Mazda and Kanuma Simon Eba, put every strength and my belief that U.S. recognition, like Bangladesh, Northern Cyprus, is the only way to set these leaders free. They will come out, become president and prime minister. That is where we are. So we don't need to take permission from them that inside whatever we are going to do. What we decide to do to free them is in our hand, and US they are declared has become the modern day. We are the example of those that the leader was arrested in this 21st century that have maintained a peaceful redecoration of what repeating Bangladesh history and Northern Cyprus before we go into Ireland, where IPOB is doing protests under 1 million men march. We have raised our flag. So my people,
Okay.
there's no other way.
Before I round up, Professor Chino, thank you very much. And I want to thank God because I feel that what makes some polypolis crazy, that turn their brain, when Maze Exodus brought out something, when he was asking Mr. Arnold about Dr. Ngozo Rabeze, about our declaration and one or two things, if he is aware. And I am happy to my bone, to my soul, that he acknowledged that with diplomacy. That was what got some people agog. Thank you very much. And Mazi Chino, my question, not that I don't know, I know, but for you to buttress something. Somebody that came and said there was nothing like 29th November, there was no declaration. Like the Pole. Please, I want you to throw light on it for people that didn't know, for them to know there was something like that. To your shame, Madam Pole. What did you go there to do? God will judge you. Heaven will judge you, and earth will judge you. Man will judge you, and spirit will judge you. Thank you. I rest my mic. Igede-son, God bless you, and welcome to the forum.
Igede-son, please welcome back to the program, and I welcome you. Please have the mic. Thank you so much. As we are waiting for Igede-son, Rahman or Pole, because my father's son mmadụ gbacha onye bụ ụzọ bịa gbaa achawo bịa gbaa akwụna na ya na-akpịa kwole nwaanyị a gbara achawo gbaa akwụna bezie gbaa kwole ịma na onye ọbụla gbara kwole ifere apụọ na ya n'ihu and onye ọbụla gbara kwole eziokwu adịkwa adị ya n'ọnụ ọ ya bizie dị ọra mmanụ. The world has already known that Biafra has been redeclared November 29. Is in the every archive. It's not in the platform that will restore it. The world archive and the index analysis of the world has proven that the peaceful redeclaration of a lost country called Biafra was redeclared on November 29, 2024. Ask your phone. So that is when it was declared, and that is what the world has already put everywhere. I am not expecting you to accept, and I'm not expecting those who never believe in that to accept. But the truth is that the world said that we are representing the blueprint. You know when they said a blueprint of past countries that has gone through this way? That is why I told my Ahmad yesterday, a time of America and their declaration of 56 men are 1 against 500. I know why people point out that area when you talk about now we have division. America has more division than our own. But look at them today. Their country today. So people of Biafra, people of the world, we have declared Biafra on November 20, 1924. Ask Google. He will give it to you. Not by Daddy or Rahman, not by me, not by anybody. And none of any leader who was arrested give their people order to do or not to do. Because their case ended from the day they pick up. It left for us to do what? Transition and make Biafra they are looking for to become a full sovereignty nation so they can come out, join us as the president or prime minister, like case of Mujibur Rahman of Bangladesh, like case of Archbishop Macarius. These are men that was arrested, put behind the bars. Their people met the country what it is. They come out to become a president. Igreson, are you there? We can hear Igreson. Are you there? Okay.
Good evening, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Igreson, you're welcome.
Bless you, sir.
Yes,
may God Almighty reward you, replenish you for the great and mighty work you are doing. I really want to thank you for yesterday's program and how you dissect everything. How you also explain properly to Mike Ahmad, letting him to understand that there is no nation that can come out as an angel without going through what Biafra has passed through, without have external, both internal and external enemies. There is no nation that can boldly come out that they have a peaceful separation without going through, without having one issue or the other. They have a problem. They have a problem. So, and upon that problem, in the midst of their own citizens, some believe in believe in what they are doing. Some disagree with them. That is how it is. It is normal. So there is no man, no woman that will come out to tell me that today the reason why you cannot get your freedom is because there is a division among you. The reason why you me that they need to give me instances of the nations. Am I coming up clear?
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. I can hear you.
Okay. Before they need to tell me about the division among you, they need to first of all point out one or two nations that have been separated without having a division or catastrophic. They need to tell me before I will not believe them. There is no nation, there is no there is no nation in this planet Earth. There is no nation in this planet Earth today that being declared without internal enemy fighting the nation, never to be realized. There is no nation. So Biafra is not exceptional. So Biafra is not exceptional.
They should allow you.
So by the grace of God,
yeah.
I am so happy with the way you smartly. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes.
You.
So by the grace of educate Mike Arnold and also giving him instances of, and also giving him instances. Okay. So by giving Mike Arnold instances about even the US, whereby whom he himself is a citizen of US. He know how US became a world power. He know how they separated. He know where US migrated from before they become a nation today. They know what they went through. They know that they have external enemy. Thank God for George Bush or who that came up in order to wipe away the bad eggs in the system. Before all the bad eggs, they wipe all of them out. That was how America today become America today. It become a living place, a civilized world that everybody is going. So he should also have that particular mindset that such thing is expected in Biafra separation. Division is expected. And also disunity. Some will agree, some will not agree. He should also have that in the back of his mind that all these things are all expected to be seen. Because I do tell people, any day somebody is showering praises of you, you do this one, you say you do well, without even condemning you or saying anything bad of you, you have to avoid such a person. Because you have to avoid such a person. That is how it is. That I am bad, just like today. Okay, just like today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on board, fighting for this freedom. Almost so the whole people castigated him. Everybody turned against him that he's a bad person. Do you know that before the arrivals of Simon Ekpa, they have called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all manner of names. They call him a terrorist. They call him names. They call him a con man. But the moment Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, and then Mazi Simon Ekpa take over, started piloting the affair, all of a sudden, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Onyendu become the saint overnight. Then why Mazi Simon Ekpa become the bad person? That is how it is. Any day you are on the right path doing the needful, they will always condemn you. They will always come after you. They will always look for one way or the other to give you a bad name in order to strike. That is how they do. Okay, all of a sudden, Dr. Ngozo Rabeze was nowhere, but the moment Simon Ekpa was taken and Dr. Ngozo Rabeze took over, all of a sudden, the same name they call Onyendo terrorists, that was the same name they call Simon Ekpa. The same name they call Simon Ekpa terrorists, that is the same name they are calling Dr. Ngozo Rabeze today. And I keep asking people, can reasonable men and women sit down in their quiet place and begin to think? Why would they first of all call the number one a terrorist? And after he was apprehended, he's no longer a terrorist. All of a sudden, Simon Ekpa, before he take over, he was not called as a terrorist. The moment he entered, he was called upon a terrorist. The same thing Dr. Ngozo Rabeze, and they are calling her a terrorist today. In other words, if all these things is not there, nobody will regard you as a freedom fighter. They must call you a name. They must call you a name. But the moment you realize that you are out for this freedom, you return back to your drawing, to your drawing board, and then re-strategize. You now wear the garment of mental toughness and the consistency in what you are doing, and you know that is genuine and is in line together with the international constitution or international United Nations Charter. The names calling you will not even be a problem to you. The attacking you in one way or the other will not be a problem to you, because you know they are doing all those things in order for you to be distracted. They are doing all those things in order for you to be panicked. They are doing all those things for you now to shiver. But the moment you study, that is why to go school is very, very important. To go school is very, very important. And today, Dr. Ngozo Rabeze, they were privileged to study what it takes to be a freedom fighter. They were opportunity to study the criteria for someone to, to be at the front as a freedom fighter. They have known the strategies to apply as a freedom fighter. They have go and begin to cross-check what is involved in the course of championing, coming out as a freedom fighter. They have realized the names. They have realized the blackmail. They know there's going to blackmail. They know they're going to insult them. They know they're going to call them names. They must call them terrorists. After having known all those things, that is why that is how they quechiri today. If assuming that they have not been able to study what it takes for one to be a freedom fighter, my dear, by now, the name they have been calling them, they could have come out and say, no, I have washed my hand. I don't know that this is how all this particular thing is. Why would they be calling me now? The levels of accusation is too much. The attack is too much. Because of that, I don't think I will continue again, because they have been able to study to know what it takes to stand as a freedom fighter. Coming out as a freedom fighter, they know the task ahead. So I am super proud and happy with the yesterday program. By the grace of God, you ask a vital question that why is it that any one leader that is fighting for freedom, the next thing they will arrest the person and put that person in the prison. This one will come out and then fight for the freedom, asking for the freedom. The next thing they will carry that one and put lock up inside the prison. And yet the world have never said something or do something about it. Why is it so? I don't really know whether even that question you gave to Mike Arnold, I don't actually know whether Mike Arnold give you, a decent or a clarify you on that particular question, because me too, I am so much interested in that question you asked him on that yesterday. I don't know whether if actually he answer you that particular question, why is the world are not doing something concerning that? Why must it be that after when they have arrested all the leaders championing their freedom, after when they have regained the freedom, that is when they will now go and bring them out of the prison? Why is it so? I don't think he really give us the full answer to that question that you asked him that yesterday, which is very, very important. Because there must be a reason why the world will know that this very person is a freedom fighter, and they know very well. Before some of them start up a freedom fighter, they have made their intent known to the government, where the country of the government where we are reciting. They send them the letter of intent, tell them this is what I'm about to do, whereby they are all aware of it. And yet, those men locked up in the prison, the only men that saw tomorrow and then have the solution to what is happening to us, they locked them up, and the world kept quiet. And then you now went and they asked Mike Arnold that particular question: why is it that after arresting the leaders, they will leave them until when the freedom is realized before they will now say the freedom, we will set them free? Why is it like that? And which is a wonderful question. I was so impressed. So, by the grace of God, my people, my fellow citizens, we are at the point of whereby everybody will soon be celebrating. You see what is happening today is not everybody that is aware. As the day is breaking, the more people are also hearing or seeing the awareness of this particular struggle, and the more people get to acquaint with the Biafra, align together with the Biafra. So we will not relent. We will continue. No matter the number of the day and the years it took us, all we know is that we will continue to follow the procedure as we are following the international guidance. As we are doing it, we will continue to follow it. And another thing I want to say is that I will also suggest and advise, if you, Mazis Mononso, or anybody can have anybody from USB to have one-on-one, because there are some of the questions that somebody asked Mike Arnold that said some of those questions are not supposed to be for in the public. They are meant to be an indoor meeting. Indoor meeting. Yeah, they are meant to be indoor meeting. But you better come and take this girl. I'm busy now. They're supposed to be an indoor meeting. They're supposed to be an indoor meeting. And if there is any way, you can also have an opportunity to engage him and then show him some of the things that he really meant to know about the USB declaration. I will be very, very glad about it. If there is any way you will engage him, maybe privately, or you do maybe kind of chatting together with him, engage him and then brief him, give him the details about the 29th of November 2024 Latin Finland redeclaration. For in order for him to understand how far you have gone.
Sorry, Mark Arnold is with USB document, with USB our law of USB. He has everything.
Constitution.
Yes, anything about USB they are declared, he has it. There's nothing he's doing about it. So don't worry about it. Even our constitution is with somebody paid for it, we'll give it to him. So don't worry about it. We have done all those ones. All has been done. He has
Okay.
asking you today,
Okay.
do you have USB declared document? You also have USB constitution. He said yes. So he said, I am going through it.
Oh. Okay. That wonderful. I'm super glad. I'm very much super glad. So, my fellow citizens of the United States of Biafra, I want to state it that everybody should continue to push on. Anyhow, you can lend your voice to enable us. You may be thinking that just like the way I'm talking from my place where I am, it may look like what I'm saying is not relevant. It may look like what I am saying don't have any positive, is not adding any value to the USB based on what they are doing. But there is a saying in the scripture that in every nonsense, there is always a sense. In the scripture said, God uses the foolish things, the things that look foolish in the sight of men. God uses them to confound the wise. That is what the scriptures say. Like this USB, a lot of people have seen it to be foolish. But to God have decided to use SB now to make those people foolish one now, those things that we are doing. SB redeclaration on 29 is the most wisest, is the greatest thing that has ever, the best thing that has ever happened. So we are super glad of the way things is going. So the best thing for you to do, anyway you are hearing me, there is no point of procrastination. The best thing to do is to gladly embrace what you have. Cherish it. If you know how you are going to protect it, protect it. You may say that this particular thing you are talking about does not concern me. One day, there is a button that Chukwu Abiyama will press. There is a button that Chukwu Abiyama will press. After that day, you will now realize how important USB government is to you. Now that we are talking, do not see this thing as a kind of a time that we are wasting. I am not wasting my time. Oh. Nobody is wasting his or her time. As long as you are genuine, you are lending your voice, you are supporting USB financially, you are supporting USB intellectually, you are supporting USB in every aspect, in any way, in your capacity, you know you are contributing. I can assure you that it's not a wasted effort. Me, as I'm talking, some people, they may say what I'm saying is a wasted effort, but to me, it's not a wasted effort. I know that the whole world is hearing my voice. I am crying, I am yearning for this freedom. And I am also a citizen of the United States of Biafra. And in my lifetime, this is my first time of witnessing this thing that has ever happened in my own lifetime. Why won't I cherish it? Why won't I embrace it? Why won't I work towards to make sure that it's being stand firm like every other nation stands today? So lend your voice, and Chukwu Abiyama will continue to bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you, our DPM. Chukwu Abiyama bless you and strengthen you, lead you any door you are planning to knock on. You will not struggle to knock on that door. Before you arrive to that door, the entrance of that door, the door will be open in honor. Our DPM and all the cabinet members, may Chukwu Abiyama never allow you to be put to shame. Everything that look impossible, heaven will make things easy for you because you are piloting this thing with the open heart, with a sincere heart, with a truthful mindset. You are piloting this affairs of USB in disciplined way, and Okike is happy with it. God, what you are doing, human being may not like it, but heaven is aware of it. If heaven is glad over what we are doing, you don't need to worry. We knew and also we believe that what we have done in the course of championing the declaration of this 29th November 2024, we knew that we have done the best thing in the sight of Chukwu Abiyama. That is one of the paramount reasons. That is one of the reasons why I can be bold anywhere I am, wherever I may be, to stand as a proud citizen of the United States of Biafra. Thank you very, very much, Mazi Chino, and all the team and all our independent media who have been working assiduously, who have been putting one effort or the other. Only God in heaven know how you manage to attend some of your personal needs and also to solve some other issues. Only God knows. But there is a scripture that says that as you are busy in the days of Job, Bible says Job abandoned his problem that he's supposed to face on. Instead of facing his own problem, he now chooses to face for free. He started carry other people's burdens, every other people's problem. He now put it as a burden to him. He started praying, and then instead of praying for himself, and the Bible says God will answer those prayers. Even his own he did not pray for, God will answer all of them. That is how it is. As you have focused your attention on USB, lending your voice while you abandon some of your family problem as you are working, Okike Abiyama will be busy giving deliverance to your family. He will be attending to those problems that you are not opportunity to solve, because you have already doing the work of Elohim that he have sent you. Likewise, every Genu Biafra who is doing this thing with all their heart, may Chukwu Abiyama bless you. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Igide son. Thank you so much. Yes, I said I am fighting. I want my own freedom. There is no freedom. If USB is not recognized, there is no freedom. So I am also letting the world to know that this is only hope I have as a human being for the rewrite of the name called Nigeria simply means death sentence to every indigenous person. In USB, we rewrite it that Biafra is the life of every indigenous people. And they must have your life. This is why I am here. I want this freedom like never before. Things that we needed is Biafra as a country, not organization. And they have also, for the doubting Thomas, any program I'm doing, I must bring you the fact, the year, the month, and where it happened. If I mention government in exile, I will also mention where the government reside and how it's been formed, and those who manage the affairs of those people when the leader was arrested. That is how I handle my program. I am not here for story, but I'm here also to. They said that what USB we are declared is doing right now is a blueprint that leads to diplomatic international recognition. The one thing I want to understand is that the criteria of recognition is not coming from Biafrans. And the world has made it openly that there is no amount of internal crisis that will stop recognition of Biafra. I use America as an example. Could you imagine 56 men winning against 500 and only 56 win against 500? Could you imagine that? The internal crisis of America, after that 500 sign, when America achieved their full recognition, the brutal Cold War of massacring of the people of America, Texas, many of them was against it. The Anglican Bishop clergy was against that America should not be a country, with his members in the church. But today, the America is the world power that everybody is calling to help. That is why all of you is going to call USB very soon for help. Because USB is another America in Africa, whether you like it or not. And we are more than them. They know who we are. Because the world make it the world understand that whatever the world is embracing now as democracy was introduced by the old Eastern region, by the Biafran people. Check the history. Check the history. The white man is not the first man to build television. The first person that ever built television in this world was a man from Yoruba land. Is the first. So today, the criteria to recognize a lost country, the rules, the law, is not being drawn by anybody. I don't waste time to block people in my page. Deborah, or Debere, there is link there. Please use the link, enter. Do not open your video, just enter. Tell me, debunk where I am lying with your evidence. And how I do, I will give you count 10. If you don't enter, I will block your generation. If you don't enter to debunk me with evidence, I am going to block you. That is how I do. At the time I start from now, counting 1. What I'm doing is this, with evidence. How all the leaders of Cyprus was arrested and second in command declared Cyprus as a country. How Regiba Rahman of Bangladesh was arrested. How his second in command declares it. This is how our other peoples, none of this leader who was in prison, they never come out and declare the country. They all come out, become the president of their country, because those they kept outside have already achieved the country while they are in prison. It's better that you get out of here because it does not belong here. It's better you do that by yourself before I will block you. And one more comment. So let us go to section 2 of the program. What I'm going to do section 2 of this program is leaders that are arrested in the name of organization and their people they kept outside take over, declares the country, they all come out, become a president of what? A nation. So Deborah or Debere, why you are walking out is because you can't enter to use your mouth to debunk me and bring evidence. So if you want to go, you are free. But before you go, listen to how Rahman of Bangladesh that was arrested got his freedom. Listen to why Nelson Mandela got his freedom. And also listen to how island leader got his freedom. Listen. Before you left. So listen to this. 1 minute. We come with evidence, not what I think or how I feel. That's why I told them. The criteria for Biafra to become a country is not in any Biafran's hand. It is us to follow the ideology, the template of the international global community. And that woman you call fake is the one that the world said that she has maintained the blueprint of countries that have used peaceful declaration to achieve their country, not by you and your group. Commenting, it takes me 1 minute to delete all of them. So continue commenting, I will soon delete all of them.
When analyzing the specific history of statecraft where an original leader is arrested, a government in exile forms, and an acting leader issues a peaceful redeclaration to achieve international recognition before the original leader is released to become president, historical records show that the Provisional Government of Bangladesh, 1971, remains the absolute foundational blueprint. However, there are other historical and contemporary parallels where movements attempted or executed similar legal and diplomatic handoffs under different organizational and order names. The specific names of the governments, orders, organizations, and leaders who have operated under this dynamic include 1. The Mujibur administration, Bangladesh, 1971. This remains the most flawless historical execution of the exact sequence you described. The original organization name, the Awami League, the political movement that won the democratic election but was suppressed by military force. The government in exile name, the Provisional Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, historically referred to as the Mujibnagar government. The acting leader name, Tajuddin Ahmad, serving as the Prime Minister and active head of the government in exile. The legal instrument, the Proclamation of Independence, issued peacefully on April 17, 1971, which served as a formal redeclaration of sovereignty. The outcome, they achieved formal diplomatic recognition from foreign powers. This international recognition forced Pakistan to release the primary leader, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who immediately returned from a West Pakistani prison to assume the presidency of the newly recognized country. 2. The African National Congress in exile, South Africa, 1960s-1990s. While not structured as a temporary territorial government in exile, this organization operated as a shadow state in exile, to achieve the exact same structural outcome. The original organization name, the African National Congress, ANC. The external structure name, the ANC External Mission, headquartered primarily in Lusaka, Zambia. When analyzing the specific history of statecraft where an original leader is arrested, a government in exile forms, and an acting leader issues a peaceful redeclaration to achieve international recognition before the original leader is released to become president, historical records show that the Provisional Government of Bangladesh, 1971, remains the absolute foundational blueprint. However, there are other historical and contemporary parallels where movements attempted or executed similar legal and diplomatic handoffs under different organizational and order names. The specific names of the governments, orders, organizations, and leaders who have operated under this dynamic include 1. The Mujibur administration, Bangladesh, 1971. This remains the most flawless historical execution of the exact sequence you described. The original organization name, the Awami League, the political movement that won the democratic election but was suppressed by military force. The government in exile name, the Provisional Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, historically referred to as the Mujibur government. The acting leader name, Tajuddin Ahmad, serving as the Prime Minister and active head of the government in exile. The legal instrument, the Proclamation of Independence, issued peacefully on April 17, 1971, which served as a formal redeclaration of sovereignty. The outcome, they achieved formal diplomatic recognition from foreign powers. This international recognition forced Pakistan to release the primary leader, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who immediately returned from a West Pakistani prison to assume the presidency of the newly recognized country. 2. The African National Congress in exile, South Africa, 1960s-1990s. While not structured as a temporary territorial government in exile, this organization operated as a shadow state in exile, to achieve the exact same structural outcome. The original organization name, the African National Congress, ANC, the external structure name, the ANC External Mission, headquartered primarily in Lusaka, Zambia.
Network, why interrupting?
When analyzing the specific history of statecraft where an original leader is arrested, a government in exile forms, and an acting leader issues a peaceful redeclaration to achieve international recognition before the original leader is released to become president, historical records show that the Provisional Government of Bangladesh, 1971, remains the absolute foundational blueprint. However, there are other historical and contemporary parallels where movements attempted or executed similar legal and diplomatic handoffs under different organizational and order names. The specific names of the governments, orders, organizations, and leaders who have operated under this dynamic include 1. The Mujibur administration, Bangladesh, 1971. This remains the most flawless historical execution of the exact sequence you described. The original organization name, the Awami League, the political movement that won the democratic election but was suppressed by military force. The government in exile name, the Provisional Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, historically referred to as the Mujibur government. The acting leader name, Tajuddin Ahmad, serving as the Prime Minister and active head of the government in exile. The legal instrument, the Proclamation of Independence, issued peacefully on April 17, 1971, which served as a formal redeclaration of sovereignty. The outcome, they achieved formal diplomatic recognition from foreign powers. This international recognition forced Pakistan to release the primary leader, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who immediately returned from a West Pakistani prison to assume the presidency of the newly recognized country.
I hope on this number one, you hear what happened here? How a leader who formed organization and the under of the organization trying to fight to liberate his people, to hand them over another country like Bangladesh that got their independence from Pakistan. The leader, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, was arrested, put in prison. The acting leader stood up. When he was arrested, another person stood up and issued declaration of Bangladesh as a country. Remember, this word declaration is where everything starts from. After they have declared it as a country, that is what trigger words. The international recognition of Bangladesh as a country. Did Bangladesh recognize without declaration? The answer is no. They do their declaration 1971, their leader, who was in prison, sentenced by hanging, was released. 1972, you see how fast they run into the declaration and the seeking for diplomatic recognition that comes. And there was what? Recognized as a country. The Rahman, who was in prison, now come out, become the what? The president of Bangladesh as a country. He was not there when it was declared. And the people that declare, second in command that declares it, push for what? Recognition. Immediately they recognize Bangladesh as a country. What happened? They released their leader who was in prison. He comes out, becomes the president. Is he the one that issued the declaration of Bangladesh? The answer is no. He's never been the one.
Sorry, let me just help you. Let me just come in. You see, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I see someone at the comment section, the person that called him or herself Dabrechi or whatever. Listen, you see, black man, I don't really know who do us with the black people. Dabrechi, I saw the last statement he or she typed there. She said the Biafra is not independent. And the funny enough that now English yourself, I always open about how but don't English on there.
We are fighting to have independence.
Listen, my dear sister or my dear brother Dabrechi. Listen, freedom is not given, it is taken. For you to say Biafra is not independent, nobody will give you your independence. It is in your hand to say this is what, and it has a procedure. For you to stand today as an independent country, it has a procedure. All they want from you is to do that's required for you to be free, for you to be independent. Once you choose it and say that this is what you do, you follow that steps, call your people, gather, there is a criterion for you to be a nation. Number one, which our brother Chino have made it clear to us here. Your territorial integrity, the population, you outline your population. Going by population, Biafra have conducted their self-referendum, which gave us over 50 million people that agreed that we have to redeclare. Remember, we have declared before. Our father Ojukwu declared in 1967. And 1970, Effiong returned it back to Nigeria. And for we to bring back our sovereignty, we have to come in agreement and redeclare that particular movement, which Ipob, though that is failed to understand this. That is why, that is the only step that they failed to do that makes Zoo keep buying our people left, right, center. They left what they're supposed to do and be protesting. Protest is not anywhere. There is no country in this planet Earth that stands today as a nation that they got their freedom through protest. It's never happened. If you want to build a house, upstairs, downstairs, skyscraper, there are requirements and procedures. And this is a nation. We are looking for a nation. There is a procedure for we to get our nation. If you fail to follow that procedure, one day you are not getting it right. Before you answer your name, you have your name already. Your parents has given you the name right from the birth. As you grow, they call you the name. The name enters you. They will not say when you grow, they begin to call you the name. It's immediately that you are being given birth, the name will be given to you that this is your name. Even without baptism, once you are being given birth, they say this is your name. They began to call you that name. Even choose your baptismal name. Going to church is to according to the Bible, in the Christian. See, your name. A certificate that covers that your name. And you began with that your name. Wherever you go, you say, this is my name. The people that you met with will now address you with that name that you choose to be. They say, can we see your baptismal certificate that proves that this is your name? Even English admission, that is what you will present. Once you present those things to them, they will now prepare your own document on your behalf based on the document you provide to them. Now, USB have really declared, got that name USB, and we are pushing it for recognition. We are an independent nation as it stands now. A state in waiting. A state in waiting. What are you waiting for? Recognition. Nobody will come and give us our name. We have chosen our name. We have all the documents. When they ask us, okay, we say we are a nation, we are USB. Why? What are the requirements? Where can we show our documents? Prove to them that we are now a nation. When the document in Nigeria, self-referendum document on everything not there. Our re-declaration this thing not there. Grievances is not there. I was on a table. How guy through? Lay their international law. That is what the law requires. They don't need you to wait for them to give you this. You have taken it. All you need to prove to them that this is your law, and I've walked through your law. I've achieved the things you required according to your law. Give me my rights. Don't say you are waiting or you are not independent nation. That means one day you need to go and search. Have you asked yourself, why is it that today, Biafra, United States of Biafra map have come back to world map? Akaneku, what we used to know as Bight of Biafra, they removed it and changed it to Bight of Borno. Now it have come back again to Bight of Biafra. They will still explain to you. It was used to known by Bight of Biafra, later changed to Bight of Borno, but currently, due to the redeclaration of 29th, 2024, November 29th, 2024, you have to come back to the original name, Bight of Borno, towards the Gulf of Guinea. Ogula ndị Biafra ndị na-ama na ha enwere n'onwe ha. Ogula ndị Biafra, some of ndị Biafra. Mana the word amana na ihe na-emezi na awuzi anaghị emezi na. They are now looking away for negotiation. Ihe onye ọbụla dey recognize again now what they will benefit from you. That is what we have on table. Nothing else. Some people bịa na-akọ eri na-akọ ihe na-agbaka moto. Nwanne onye chefuru onwe ya, awụ mmadụ ga-echetakwa ya onwe ya o. Thank you so much, my brother.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Now, as I am giving you an example how Bangladesh, where some of our brothers are today, how they become a country. They issue declaration. Their leader was in prison. They gathered in exile. Their exile government was in London, in America, and India. That is where their leaders based in exile come together. They will have a meeting online, like what USB is doing. They will do their thing. They will go back. They stay in different countries. If they have something to bring them together, they choose a date and where they gather together and decide what to do. The organization, remember that their leader, Rahman of Bangladesh, formed the organization. Awun League is the name of the organization he formed. Under this name of organization, he was arrested by Pakistan that is trying to pull people of Bangladesh out from Pakistan. He was arrested. Do what? After he was arrested, the second man, Ahmad, pick up, started from where? The government in exile. He started with the government in exile. He did not even start with the organization of the leader. He now turned into what? The government in exile. The name of the government in exile he used, the second in command uses, the professional government of the people of the Republic of Bangladesh is the name he used. He fought, declared it in successfully, peaceful, redeclared on April 17, 1971. Did you hear that they have the date where the day that there was is that they declare Bangladesh as a country? Then after they declare in 1971, why the leader was arrested in March 1971? Look at April and March and April, they formed transitional government in exile in London, where is where they base, America and India. They issue a peaceful declaration of Bangladesh April 17, 1971. Like USB we are declared 29th November 2024. People of Bangladesh maintain this mandate of the declaration. They fight, dots, gun and bullets, diplomatic fights, sending the document of their declaration document to the international global community. It leads that at a stage that the world power recognizes the government of Bangladesh into a country, as they get recognition as a country. Their leader, who was in prison in the hands of Bangladesh, was released. He comes out, become the first president of Bangladesh. This is Bangladesh story. Now, what of in Africa? Let's listen about Nelson Mandela. Number 2, the African National Congress in exile, South Africa. Do you also know that the people that fought against the apartheid regime was in exile? The same London is where they base. Why not structured as a temporary transitional government in exile? This organization operates as a shadow state in exile of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. To achieve the same structured coming out, the original organization named the African National Congress, ANC, the external structure name, the ANC External Mission. Headquarters primarily in also Zambia, London, operate effectively and diplomatic government in exile. The acting leader, Oliver Tambo, while the primary leader, Nelson Mandela, was imprisoned on the Robben Island. Tambo assumed the rule of acting prime minister and the later president of the ANC in exile in South Africa, apartheid regime, those who fight against it. The legal peaceful declaration of South Africa again, second time. The Harare Declaration in 1989 issued peaceful declaration by the NHC in exile. It set the structure and the legal movements for a diplomatic, non-recall South Africa state. They have set a diplomatic mission. They redeclare, even when South Africa was in existence, this Nelson Mandela NHC people travel into exile, Zambia in Africa, London, they do what? They issue another peaceful declaration of South Africa that even exists. What happened? The outcome, Tambuwal external mission achieved unprecedented global diplomatic recognition as they read through government of South Africa in exile through the UN resolution and the international sections. This overwhelming international pressure recognition and financing the NHC government forced the unconditional release of Nelson Mandela because of their recognition that these governments that are now fight against that regime, NHC, was the one is truly the government in exile, and the government that was on ground was denied. And Nelson Mandela comes out from prison because of what? That the people he kept outside have achieved the recognition of South Africa for the second time again as a country. He becomes president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. You know him very well. Those people, despite that South Africa was an existing country, redeclare South Africa for the second time. 1989. The declaration is the main goal. How the world organize you, because the declaration represents when the world was using external remittance of section as a separatist movement. Now they use what? Declaration to cover that gap up. Nelson Mandela comes out, become the president. He never comes out to start the session, to start protests, and maintain the same organization. Oh no, he comes out as a president of the real South African citizen government. This is how he comes out. How do you want Mandela to come out? How do you want, on what ground do you want Mandela to come out? To come out to continue doing protests for you as Onyendu. Number 3, the provisional government of the Irish Republic, Ireland, 1919 to 1921. Those in IPOB doing protests in Ireland. Listen to the history of how Ireland becomes a country. Let us see if there's a protest. During the Irish struggle for independence, a high specific internal shadow government and external diplomatic mission were stepped up, while primary leaders were arrested. We are what? Arrested. The original organization name, Sinn Féin, the political wing, and the Irish Volunteer, IRA, the defense wing. Now, what happened? Listen, you. The government structure named the chart, the minister, executive branch of the IRIN, the underground parliament of the Irish Republic. The acting leader named Actor Gifted, with the primary leader, Imo de Vera, was arrested by British authority, and later they went into settled diplomatic in exile. And do you hear it? There's the Irish, the island where people are doing protests, that the government transition again after the leader was arrested. They transition into government in exile to the United States of America. Ireland, their government that makes what's the government for Ireland today. Ireland, where you are doing protests, transition into government in exile in United States of America. Stepping in and acting president of Ireland of the States. The legal declaration, the Declaration of Independence, 1919, read peaceful in the Irish language. Mission, House, and the people agreed. Declaring the sovereign republic of Ireland that was lost in the hands of British. During the 1916, they lost their country in the hands of the same Obodo Eliza, Britain, the evil people. The outcome of when they have redeclared it by establishing formal diplomatic across Europe and America, like what USB is doing today, in the name of United States of Biafra. The people of Ireland redeclared their own. They achieved de facto international recognition and administrative control over local governance. This forced the British Empire military operation enter into formal peace treaty. Release political prisoner and organizing the Ireland Free State, with its leader assuming for their official presidency out of prison in the hands of British. Recognition is only way they are all these people out. Out of the 5 I mentioned so far, do you hear that any of them was out because of courts that have released them, because of appeal? What we are looking for, you must understand what we are into. To why you must focus, support those who are declared. for Mass Simon Eba, for Mass Nakan to be out. It's not by what we think. It's not by our emotion. This is already how other things happening to other nations that have achieved their own. Now, in the modern day of 21st century, the modern blueprint of what happened in Irish, Bangladesh, South Africa is what's repeating by the United States of Biafra that was redeclared November 29, 2024. Not you will write it. The one has write it there. By who? By Dr. Ngozi Rabeze as acting prime minister, deputy prime minister, like Irish. What happened to them? Like Bangladesh, like South Africa. Remember this in your mind. And the leaders has names. So listen to this as we are summarizing the program to come to an end. Listen to this.
When analyzing the specific history of statecraft where an original leader is arrested, a government in exile,
The original leader was
and an
arrested.
acting leader issues a peaceful redeclaration
The
to achieve
acting
international
leader
recognition.
issue a peaceful redeclaration. The issue is they did not say, oh, we won't declare. Our leader is not here. Like what all of you are claiming. Without this declaration, the case of Mass Simon Eba could have been over. Without this peaceful declaration, Mass Simon could have been over. But what is keeping them is what our DPM stood up on November 20, 2024. If you are doubting, go to your phone now on Google, type which year was the modern declaration of Biafra happened. Just type it. They will tell you the day it happens. And who did that? Not by what you think, not by your hatred, not by your envy, not by your jealous. The map has carried that Biafra has been redeclared in November 29, 2024.
Before the original leader is released to become president, historical records show that the Provisional Government of Bangladesh, 1971, remains the absolute foundational blueprint. However, there are other historical and contemporary parallels where movements attempted or executed similar legal and diplomatic handoffs under different organizational and order names. The specific names of the governments, orders, organizations, and leaders who have operated under this dynamic include 1. The Mujibur administration, Bangladesh, 1971. This remains the most flawless historical execution of the exact sequence you described. The original organization name, the Awami League, the political movement that won the democratic election but was suppressed by military force.
I don't know why this thing is every time he went off. So, in summary, Bangladesh was being declared by acting deputy. By who? By Ahmad. Nelson Mandela apartheid regime that fought against apartheid regime was redeclared by second person while Nelson Mandela was in prison. Ireland was redeclared by acting because the two first leader was in prison. The third person took over, like the same our case. Master Simon Eba, Ngozi Rabeze took over and redeclared it. That is where we are. So continue doubting yourself and continue deceiving yourself. The world has already known that Biafra was redeclared November the 29, 2024. This is what the world believes on. That is what the world knows right now, and that Biafra has been redeclared. So it is very, very important for us to understand the truth. If you want to understand the truth, if you want to continue on the protest, continue. Nothing concerns me with your protest. The world said they will never give us Biafra's recognition because of protest and agitation. It has gone and dusted through USB redeclared. All the leaders that was arrested, they all come out. They all come out from because of what? That those outside has changed the movement from organization into a country. that are seeking for recognition. You had it here. That they all seek for recognition. As they got their recognition, that all their leader was released. They become, all of 5 of them today, become president of different countries. What else are you still waiting for? What is your problem? That you don't want Mazankan to be out. If you fail to support USV, you are declared. You are keeping Mazankan in prison. If you refuse to support USV, you are declared. You are keeping Sabanba in prison. The only way is for you to join USV, you are declared. For us to achieve recognition. Please, my triple, I want to widen because I want to go to work. Please, I want you to have your mic and give your final submission as I end the program. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, my brother. You've tried. We, the Biafran people, the genuine Biafran people, we really appreciate you for your time and your effort. It is not by your power, neither is it by your mind, but by the special grace of God we are pushing. I could remember before our declaration, you are among those that support our so-called media warriors in the brig. We are the spectators, giving them encouragement. Our leader Ahmad can say, God, that he wants those before they were conceived, that you are choosing them to be the people that will fight for this particular freedom. When you look around, you see that all the people that call themselves are no more where to be found. They are nowhere to be found because they call themselves. They never allow the spirit of Biafra to dwell in them. They are here for what they will get and what they will achieve. That's why they join the particular struggle. But those ones that saw something so deep, so deeper than the particular money they see, there is no amount of money you give them that will make them to deviate from the track. See, thank you so much, my brother. My genuine fellow Biafrans, remember one thing our brother Mike Arnold said yesterday. He said, nobody will give you your freedom. You are the one that will fight for your freedom.
And
Then
you also said that we
you,
more awareness of our peaceful declare, that we have to create awareness.
yes. Now you that is in comment section telling yourself that you are not independent. That means you don't even know what that particular declaration is all about, and they don't even know what redeclaration or redecoration is all about. You know, people will say we call it because we are once a nation. If I thought
Yes.
that we have not been declared before, we would have been using this terminology, declaration.
Declaration. Yes.
But for the fact that we have resisted before and we later go back and redeclared. Remember, there's something our PM said. He said, when people ask, what do we benefit from this from this our movement, our declaration on the 2nd of December, because he usually use 2nd of December because that was the date. But no we hear many ka me ihe ga-agbala ha gị ga-egbubiri ya ọdụ ka ma ofe gị ga-agba ụka na mgbede nwanne gị je hie rie ọ ga n'afọ gị ka ọ nọ. You see,
Yes.
also he said that anything that we are doing in this particular course without this redeclaration, we are just making noise. Do you want to continue to be making noise? Now you ask yourself, IPOB Nigeria, they have made noise for more than 2 decades.
Yes.
Owazirike and Co. have made noise for more than 4 decades. So USB have come. Our PM gave us 5 years to get what we want, and we have gotten it. Do you want to continue to make noise? Many of us joined them in singing Oge me have amnanya, Oge me have amnanya, mgbe Biafra
Now we
ga-abịa
can have
n'elu
head
ụwa,
now.
Oge me have amnanya. Nwanne Biafra bịazie ga ejuzi ịchọzi ya. Are you normal? When you are singing that no hope, nothing on ground.
Nothing. I thought protest would
Even Google map, you gaghị Biafra in the world map. But you have hope. Finally, that thing Abia. If you argue now, thank God that we are in 21st century. Why don't you use your phone and ask something? Anyway, little information Google will give you. At least they will not lie on that one. Get you so get my USB. Some people has a USB charger. Yes, or USB charger. USB stands for so many things. Even that your charger now is born corner. Without charger, you can't boost your phone. Without charger, there are many things you can't do with charger. Even as we speak now, motor now buzzing now with chargeable or chargeable cover. Eh? Please, my people, nobody will give you your freedom. And we have taken it. As they say, freedom is taken. Are you really? Don't allow yourself to be used. When you say you want to wait, when March now come out, we start from where you stop. When PM comes out, you start from where he stopped. The question you ask yourself is, Kedindi stop, bro? Kedindi our PM arrest? Kedindi kidnap What was the reason why they took them away? About that freedom. Then again, the last is here, the freedom. Hanolu, no, it must surely be them. You that is waiting, say they are not coming back to do anything. It is for we are proving to the world now that this freedom fighting is not only business for us, it is what that concerns each and every one of us. The all freedom kind natural, our personal business. The ball can fall down to anybody's head to carry. So if we get a change in the chamber, and remember, any day man can just walk out from that place freely without anything. One day, check here, either na how orderly compromised. Or be like an aqua, I see a kuzunoku. That's why you can rebono. But now, it's na igega no na chair ka opota na mbop to be able to. Gimana Nigeria gauge have eternity, even this generation apple. You are giving them the hand for succeeding. Now you have to make arrest. But we doing what we are doing, we have proved them wrong.
Why can't we maintain what other people maintained before, like Bangladesh, or all this history I'm repeating here today?
Yes.
And see how they never come out.
I saw that Dabirich award that say you are lying. Yeah, within a bit trash now. They say you fabricated it. When you fabricated it, those countries are still in existence today. Or illusion. Why can't you Google their history country then to now educate yourself? Or when you say you are lying, you are lying. If you are lying here, you throw more light on the area of America in the presence of Mike Arnold. Mike Arnold saying is a lie.
But he said yes.
Mike Arnold won America. But I your history, yeah, may accept. Yeah, was in Guma Biafra, Ludo na my him in Nabel, no Washikanato. Are you normal? Thank you, my people, those that believe in what we are doing. As for this freedom, no amount of sabotage that will stop us. Let me make it clear to us. USB have break record in freedom fighting, and they will set record, new record.
Yes, so
as it stands, and be clear tomorrow. And when any country that is fighting for freedom today after April, so now I get me here when not because I break record in the line from A to Z the black for freedom. USB break here. I break Shahanili, then set a new record in Keneme get break here in this life for now as it stands. And the people where shame on you people, mad people everywhere. Thank you so much, about that age.
I am very honored to have you to this end. Honestly, it's sweet me when I have somebody who when I talk, he also come in, because like I always said, one person's voice and one person's thinking is not enough. After this research, if people like you are not coming, putting the voice into it to go viral, that is what we needed at this time. Makano said that we should do what? Do more awareness on this our declaration with government in exile, that we must do more, that he don't know. He know, but I don't want to talk about that. I believe it's for him there. We know the truth. So whether you like it or not, the record has been broke, the new one has been set. Go to Google, type which in the modern day world, where is the next peaceful declaration happened? I work on Finland, that is what the world want us to do at this stage. So do not panic. We are there and we are setting the record. That is what we are doing. So we are going to end it here, or to come back again tomorrow because of our time. It's time for work. So please, dear friends, stand on the side of USB we are declared. there is no other government you have. We must preach for the world to know that we have met all the criteria through our peaceful declaration of United States of Biafra that has entered in the world map, that has entered in every archive of the countries. You know now that US has an archive in the world. Go and check USD archive, is what you will see there. You know that something is happening. Go to index and see what will happen there. Go anywhere any app you enter, type when the Biafra was declared modern day world. On the and you will see the name. If Ngozi is fake, Ngozi Rabufora, Ngozi Rabubor, all those things is for yourself and disgracing yourself, not for the world. The word of the world is quite different from the word of we and how we reason. And the way to achieve Biafra recognition is not the criteria. You and I are not the one who put it there. So they have their criteria. And they know that after peaceful declaration, that's again when the betrayers, like all of you that are betraying Biafra today. So thank you so much. I leave it here until we see again tomorrow. Biafrans, remain safe. One love, my people. We move.